Here we go, man. What's happening, man? It's go time for everybody, man. Congratulations to everybody that's made it to the second round playoffs. We're excited, man. Happy for everybody. The buzz of basketball is at all time high right now here in Louisiana high school basketball, man. We got 80 games going on tomorrow. Well, a couple games played, but for the most part, 80 games, 160 teams, man, made it to the second round playoffs. Big time hype going around, man. What's it like, day to day operations with you up there in the north, coach? Being in the school system, how exciting is it? With you guys playing second round, boys brackets being released tomorrow as well.
Yeah, man. Everybody, boys just finished up, and so it was an exciting game Friday with them. It was kind of everybody was playing for something in that game, and so everybody's anticipating their brackets around here, and then everybody's anticipating our big game tomorrow against Thibodaux. So
Yes, sir.
we're looking forward to playoffs, man. Playoffs. The environment is everybody's talking playoffs right now.
Yeah, man. Thibodaux's got to get some freaking flyer miles going all the way up to Bossier back to back twice in 3 days, man. So that's definitely going to be a task for sure. Before we get started, man, we're going to give a shout out to our sponsors. We got Grind Elite as well as Sports Clips Haircuts. If you weren't with us last week, every week we're going to be giving away a free haircut from Sports Clips. All you got to do is comment MVP. Let's go ahead and get a quick video up there, and we'll talk about them here in a second. Again, man, shout out to Sports Clip, man. Doing a contest every single time we go live, giving away a free haircut. Check it out.
You may not know where you stand with today's youth, but you always know where you stand with the Sport Clips app haircut tracker that tracks your real-time wait time. It's a game changer.
Again, all you gotta do is comment MVP. You'll be entered. Coach, we talked about it. Your mom had commented. I forgot to remove her. She had actually once had to run the giveaway again. I had to spin the wheel twice, man. But Shakayla Browder won last week's free haircut. So if you guys know Shakayla or if she's on, man, just shoot us a DM. We'll shoot you a little Google form to get that free haircut. This is good for Sports Clips haircuts for men. Again, it doesn't have to be for you. You can give this away to friend, brother, coach, dad, whoever. So all you do, man, comment MVP. We'll be giving them a couple shout outs throughout. And we had some late entries as well. So these will not be drawn until we go live again, which will probably be not Wednesday, but Thursday this time. But again, shout out to Sports Clips, Haircuts, as well as Grind Elite, Threads. Before we do get started, man, I got a quick video I want to pull up. Kind of allow everybody to jump on. We're always about getting the conversation started. So for those that don't know, Indiana high school, just similar to Louisiana, they have recently announced that they will allow transfers, similar to the transfer portal, where you can transfer and play right away for athletics. Used to you couldn't transfer, you had to move and all that good stuff. Louisiana actually voted on that, voted it down handedly. But check this video out real quick. We're going to kind of get everybody's feedback. Let us know in the comments, man. What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on that transfer rule?
Here we go now. Here we go. If you don't like where you at, okay, you don't like the school you playing at, in Indiana, here we go. Transfer portal. Here it is. Now, before in Indiana, you couldn't transfer for sports. You technically couldn't transfer from one school to another school for sports. So what you'll do, you'll say, y'all, I don't like the environment. I don't like the way the school is. I get bullied. We moving. You had to do that, change your address and stuff. Now what you can do is transfer because of sports. You can do that because of sports. Now, what they usually do, if you're a good player, even if you're a bad player, the athletic director got to sign off of it. But sometimes you got to wait 365 days to even play a varsity sport. So, for example, your kid want to transfer, or you want to transfer, or whatever, and the athletic director may say, yeah, you can transfer, but you're going to sit a whole 365 days before you can play on a varsity level at the school you're transferring to. Now, you can say, man, I want to transfer there to play basketball. Come on. They say they want to train. We just want to say, come on. I ain't playing. Come on. Come on. Go where you going to go. Be happy. Do what you got to do. But all in all, this is huge for Indiana. Little transfer portal for high school in Indiana. They talking about NIL next, but I'm going to go ahead and break the ice for y'all. NIL, they doing it in Florida. NIL already in high school in Florida.
Man, Coach, I just want to kind of get your thoughts. And guys in the comments, I think this is some big-time news. I mean, I scrolled across this on TikTok. It was announced, I think, a day or two ago. Again, just for full transparency, Louisiana also presented this, and it was voted down by a lot of people. For those that are unfamiliar with it, a lot of times the NCAA comes out with a rule, and then it just trickles down into the high school, the high school ranks. It's just going to take a little bit of time. Do y'all think we got it right? I guess is my question. Do y'all think we should reconsider? Did Indiana get it right? Did we get it right? What's y'all's thoughts? Let us know in the comments. And Coach, I mean, not to kind of put you out on a limb, man, but what's your thoughts, man?
Man, like, we was talking before we come on the air. I think, you open up the recruiting window wide open, you know what I mean? Then it's kind of hard to prove what's, if a kid's unhappy, I get that, I understand that, but how do I know that coach is not in my kid's ear? You know what I mean? But who am I to say that? You know what I mean? I know some coaches probably watching this got a bullseye on me about that. So, but it is what it is. I mean, I don't know. I think maybe Louisiana got it right now. I don't think we're in the environment to go that way just yet. I think it's going to take some time before Louisiana, get there if they get there.
Yeah, I think with having other states pulling the trigger on it, I don't think it closes the door on it. I guess kind of like to your point. It'll be interesting, like with the shot clock and stuff like that. As that progresses, we're nearly halfway down the line as far as a number of shot clocks in per state. So you're starting to see a little bit more push there. I think that's going to happen pretty soon within the next few years. We'll have some type of guidelines on when we'll implement it. It'll be a slow rollout, but I think that'll definitely happen. And this is one of the next things, man. Coach, I think can't hear me or which one of us? Coach Golf or Coach Kenyon, man. Appreciate you for commenting that. So yeah, I mean, it's like I think my personal opinion. I think we're gonna have to go to it eventually. Again, we just always tend to follow NCAA rules. NCAA used to only allow you to practice 4 kids 8 hours a week. LHSA did that. And then NCAA allowed it to be wide open, right? So now, what does Louisiana do? LHSA, they also follow it. Now it's wide open. You can practice. There is no real dates or anything. It does get a little dicey with the recruiting, the bad word. That's definitely going to be an emphasis for sure with Indiana. But in my personal opinion, I think this raises the bar. I think it forces everyone to raise the bar. You're going to get evaluated as players. You're also going to get evaluated as coaches. And like if I'm a parent, I'm evaluating that coach every single year. Is this the best fit for my son, my daughter, whatever it is? And coaches are allowed to move, right? If it's not a good fit for them, whatever it is, administration. There's a lot of shit that hits the fan, man. I think we're gonna have to move to at least where it's a one-time transfer. You can move one time and then play right away. I think that's definitely gonna be something that's gonna come down the line. Will it come down the line anytime soon? Who knows? But I think that was definitely a conversation. Like we always love to start the conversation. So, again, guys, we're gonna rock and roll, man. First step up. I'll go ahead and take care of this one, man. Let Coach kind of sit on the sidelines here. Comment below, man. Anybody got any comments? We had a lot of really good comments last time. It really gave us a lot of feedback and insight on some of these divisions and stuff like that. We're gonna start out with Division 1. Parkway, 2-time defending state champs, man. They're rocking and rolling again. Shout out to Thibodaux, man. Thibodaux came all the way up to Bossier Parish, long ways, traveled all the way up there, got that win. Defeated Airline. It was kind of a big wide open blowout, I guess I would say. And then Airline kind of closed the gap kind of towards the end. But Thibodaux got that win. They'll have to travel right back to Parkway to defend. To take on the district woe of Airline. I definitely see Parkway in that game. I don't think Thibodaux is at that level. Maybe in years past with some of the size that they had, they could have competed. But Parkway is just gonna be too much to handle there, man. One of the games I really like in this little group of this matchup, man, is this Dillon Springs versus Slidell game. This game is in the older gym. For those that don't know, so that game will not be on NFHS Network, although it will show up there. They have some issues with their court, but it will be on YouTube. So it will be on Dillon Springs YouTube. I'll share that. I'll definitely be tuned in with that one. That's the third year in a row that this game has linked up. It went Dillon Springs' way once, went Slidell's way once. I said that backwards. Went Slidell's way once, then Dillon Springs. And they'll meet again for the third year in a row, creating that little bit of a rivalry. They actually played earlier this year where Dillon Springs won that one. I went ahead and picked Dillon Springs in that. I just think that home court it's going to have an impact, man. That's going to be a great, great game, a great environment. Their fan base is going to show up. It's going to be a lot of fun being in that old gym, in the back gym, the airplane hangar, as we like to call it. It's going to be fun, man. I think they had a great game, great showing against Prairie View. I think they're going to keep it rocking and rolling. This game could go either way, though, man. This game could go absolutely either way. That's a great comment. It would make LHSA's job easier, and it would be a conversation to bring select and non-select together. That's a great comment right there by Coach Whittington. And I think that's what you see with the NCAA. If they can't police it, man, at the end of the day, that's kind of let it go. And they try to police it the best they can. It's a great comment. It's unfortunate, I guess, that it has to be worded that way. But at the end of the day, it does make LHSA's job a lot easier. There's going to be a lot less investigations. It would definitely bring the conversation back to the table of select, non-select back together. I think the R word, man, recruiting, would be the big word everyone would be kind of scared of, man. But that's a great comment. Again, I really appreciate all the comments, man. Let us know, man, in the comments, man. What's y'all's thoughts, man? Parkway, definitely. I think we can all kind of on the same page with that one. But what about Slidell and Dillon Springs, man? Slidell, Dillon Springs. We're going to jump down to the next half. Barbe, North Shore, Destrehan, Haughton, man. A lot of people were upset, man. Throughout the crystal ball prediction, man. Destrehan over Haughton, man. No disrespect to Haughton. Again, we talked about it from 3 years ago whenever Haughton went on the road at West Jeff. And this was years ago. And then now you're looking at them with a 4 next to their name. Where they were on the road in the first round to be a 4 seed, getting a bye, and having Destrehan come in there. Again, we're trying to get the conversation started, man. So if it's gonna be close, a lot of times we're gonna roll the dice, man. Throw out the possible upset there. I like Destrehan. I like the Urson young lady. She's doing a great job putting the ball in the hole. Had 22-24 last week. And a big game, big win over Washoe Parish, man. It's a big win for them. We say it all the time, guards win games. Guards win games. Haughton's got a great big on the inside. Can they slow it down, get it into her? If they can, they'll probably win by double digits. But if it's going to be up-tempo, up and down, I could see Destrehan having an opportunity to kind of come into that game and upset them. It would not be as fun, if we just roll it down there and put 1, 2, 3, and 4 advancing, man. So we got to throw it up, shake it up a little bit, man. Top half of this bracket here, you got Barbe and North Shore, man. Barbe and North Shore, what's your thoughts on that one, guys? Barbe's made it to the top 28 before, has the experience. A lot of young ladies that will be on the court have played in these quarterfinal games, have won second round and quarterfinals, as well as advanced to the top 28. That's why I'm leaning towards Barbe a little bit, just because of the experience, right? North Shore's clearly got the best player with Cherie Spencer. Benton did a great job on her. They actually ran a triangle in 2. So they ran a triangle in 2 and actually put 2 people on Cherie Spencer. A lot of credit to her. I think Barbe will be ready for something similar to that. Maybe have something like that in their back pocket. The coach runs that matchup zone a lot. That'll be kind of difficult as well. Some other kids are going to have to step up for North Shore, man. And they did that against Benton. They kept the game close. They gave an opportunity for Spencer. The game was tied at halftime. Spencer kind of took over in the second half, where I think she had 17 or 18. So yeah, man, that's a fun one for sure. Two good matchups. I could see North Shore winning. I could see Destrand winning. I could also see Barb and Houghton as well, both winning by double digits. So this is where it's really getting to the nitty gritty, and it's getting pretty fun, man. Again, guys, comment below, man. Trying to keep up with all the comments. Got a couple people commenting in. Transfer portal is a good thing, man. Again, like it was voted down so heavily. I thought maybe we would never have a chance, but to see Indiana pass it, I thought that video was important to share and at least have the conversation, man. At least have the conversation started. Got a couple people on the Barb train for sure. Definitely no arguments there. And Coach Mr. Passion, same thing, man. You're leaning for Barb, but then at the end of the day, Spencer can get in her bag, man, if she gets hot. We've seen it before. Like she's dropped 80 points in a handful of games, 2 games, so she can definitely get hot. Zachary, man, Zachary and Hanville. Hanville versus HL Bourgeois was the best game that we saw. Lucas, can you put her up, please? Thank you. Hanville versus HL Bourgeois was the best game that we saw in the first round. That game ended up in a dogfight going back and forth, and bang play at the end. Young lady drives into the gap instead of going up for the layup, kicks it out for the 3-ball. Hanville bangs the 3. HL Bourgeois can't score coming down on the other end, but that was the best game that I saw. Shout out to JB Sports, sports guy, man. He live streamed that one. It's on his YouTube channel. If you get an opportunity, you can go back and watch that one. But Zachary's going to take on Hanville. I don't think Hanville's going to have enough in the tank to kind of keep up with them this time. Zachary is comment. Let us know in the comments, man. Is Zachary the most talented team? Probably like 1 through 8. As far as who has the best player can be debated throughout this bracket. I think you can argue Zachary's got the most talented team 1 through 8. They've got multiple bigs. They've got the guards. They've got forwards. They've got guys that can play multiple positions. They've got some youth. They've got some experience, right? They've got probably the deepest team top to bottom. So I got Zachary cruising through that one. EA versus Natchitoches Central. We've talked about this a lot. Natchitoches Central is a tough place to play at, man. Natchitoches Central is a tough place to play at. Whenever you go into those games, you're down by 10, 15 points before you even really get started. You got a great fan base. Throw all the people in there behind the goal, man. It makes it pretty hostile environment pretty quickly, which is fun, But can EA weather the storm early? I'm not sure, man. I'm used to the EA in the past where they're not scheduling as hard a game, so that's kind of why I went with Northwood Shreve. But, going back and looking at their schedule, they've played a more difficult schedule this time. So shout out to them. I think they may be prepared to come in there and get an upset because of that. You see that with a 14-point win in their last game. It's a huge win there. Natchitoches Central, I thought they might have handled New Iberia a little bit better. Granted, it is a 16-point win, but I thought they were kind of cruising down a little easier. So I think this game could be a lot closer than I had even originally thought, man. But I would still lean towards Natchitoches Central. Home court advantage at that place is very, very difficult. But don't be surprised, man. EA is playing some really good basketball. The basketball in the Baton Rouge area and the surrounding area has been really, really good. Jumping down to the bottom half of the bracket, man. Yeah, I just feel like Walker got a great draw here, man. Mandeville defeated Terrebonne. Great game there. Man, it's just they're not going to have enough firepower like they have in the past. Where Alana had her sister and some other pieces around her. Man, they're just not going to have the firepower to compete for 4 quarters. You could probably see this one being close for a quarter. Maybe 10, 12 minutes, something like that. But Walker's just going to pull away with this one. And I think that leads you to even a tougher matchup at the top end for whoever comes out of that Neville versus Sulphur matchup. Sulphur actually got down pretty big in that EA game, man. So a lot of people didn't realize that. You look at that score, Sulphur wins. It was kind of lopsided. They got punched in the mouth. Shout out to them. They fought back and won that game. Their schedule has also been pretty soft, man. But at the end of the day, you win the games that are in front of you. and that's what they did. They found a way to win. I just don't know if they can go on the road to win at Neville. I see Neville winning that game, possibly by double digits, where they'll play Walker in the quarterfinals, man. This is the comment right here we're talking about, guys. If you're watching this, we are live on YouTube as well as Facebook. JB the Sports Guy is the gentleman that recorded the Hanville versus HL Bourgeois game, man. That was a great game. It's still live on his page. You can go back and rewatch that one. Really, really good job from him, man. He does a great job covering sports. So definitely want to give him a shout out. If you guys have not already, click on that comment right there or type in JB the Sports Guy and, man, go follow his page for us. But, yeah, man, appreciate the comments. I'm going to try to catch up to all of these. Coach, man, you want to say anything? We zip seal. Oh, yeah, can't. I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you, man. So for those that may be new, man, Coach Kendrick, man, he does a lot for us, man, with the North, covering the North and all the teams up there. But he has some ties to Parkway, right? As the top assistant over there, man, running the show and helping things rock and roll, man. They're on their way to defend that 2-time state championship belt. But we're not going to give him the opportunity to put no bulletin board material up there. But, Coach, man, go ahead and take us off for this next round, man. We're going to Division I Select. John Curtis, Riverdale, Ash, man. What's your thoughts, man? What you got going on?
Oh, I got Curtis. Got Curtis here, man. Seeing them earlier this year, it looked like they're just rocking and rolling and coming off the first round bye. I think Turlin's Catholic. They kind of, they handled Southwood. I didn't think either one of those coming out of there could be able to give Curtis a shot. I mean, it's going to be tough going into Curtis and beating him. I got Curtis coming out of that one.
Anybody in the comments, y'all know if Amani is back? I know she was back working out and warming up with the team. That's definitely something that I want to keep an eye on. I'm not sure if they're on the NFHS network or not, but that's definitely something that we will definitely be tuned into. Is Amani Daniels back playing? I know she is very, very close to being healthy. And we talked about as well, Michaela Charles. Got the text, Michaela is back. So there's some things to keep an eye on as a lot of these teams did have a bye coming out here, man. Again, got 80 games going on, man. So comment below, guys. Let us know what games you're going to, man. Coach, what's your thoughts on the Riverdale versus Ash game right there?
Well, I'm going to pick Ash. Coach Jimmy done a good job. Haven't really seen to Riverdale, but I know what Coach Jimmy and his what the style they play. Can Riverdale keep up with that? Jimmy Ash has some girls that can just flat out go, home field advantage in Alexandria. We talk about Natchitoches all the time.
Yep.
But I think we failed to realize that Alexandria is a tough place to go play at. We'll see. But I got Ash. I'll call that one for Ash Curtis in that quarters. You know what I mean? It'll be tough for Ash, but we'll go Ash and Curtis in the quarters.
I mean, let's put you on the spot, man. I mean, we want you to talk it up a little bit, man. So we got Ash advancing. Is what's the chances that Ash can go into John Curtis? You talk about that. John Curtis hadn't lost a quarterfinal game at home, and I don't know. Y'all are gonna have to go check the record book, check the newspaper articles back in the day, man. I don't know when the last time John Curtis has gone into a quarterfinals and lost a home quarterfinal game, man. Can Ash do it? Can Riverdale do it?
Man, it's gonna be tough. You trying to get me in trouble, Coach Jimmy, man. I think maybe he would want to be the underdog dog, but if anybody can, Ash can go in there and try to give him a fight. We're gonna see. Curtis is Curtis, man. With Kiki and the other kids that they have around her, and then like you said, if Amani comes back, it puts them, back to where they were to start the year off. They're gonna be a tough opponent and a tough out. I really think Curtis, finds its way to Hammond again.
And here's a great comment again. We're not trying to get nobody in trouble, man. We just want to get as much information and get stuff going out, man. So appreciate people with comments, man. Anything that you can add to the game, man. So we had asked about Amani, man. It looks like Amani's not back fully yet. So again, she's been warming up, so she's on the court very, very close. That's definitely John Curtis is gonna win versus Challenge Catholic with or without her. But do you want that first time on the court to be against Ash? Like they gotta have a shooter's chance. Coach Jimmy's gonna have him rocking and rolling, ready to go. I don't know, man. I would love to see her start to get out there. Do you want that first time that she's out there in the quarterfinals, right? I mean, in the semis where you're at the top 28, like getting to where you really want to kind of get them out there. Because I mean, let's jump into the next bracket. Then you're playing Huntington is her first game back if she doesn't find a way to get on the court in this next week, right? And this stuff happens fast, man. Because we got this game on Monday, and turn around, got the game on Thursday. Like I said, everyone keeps streaking right on by, man. They got this thing that we call Mardi Gras going down over here in New Orleans, man. You got Muses. There's gonna be a lot of kids, a lot of fans that are going to try to catch that little shoe. All right, they throw out these heels, these shoes. I'll feed you up on next week, man. But everyone goes crazy over these shoes, man. So how is the crowd gonna be if Ash wins? Can they travel well, right? I don't know, man. I think that can kind of make things a little bit more interesting. I think they got a shooter's chance. I do think Ash wins pretty easily against Riverdale. I think they're ready to roll. Coach Jimmy's prepared them for this environment. I think they're gonna have a shooter's chance, but it's just gonna be a little bit of a long shot there. Let's get us down to the next half, man. Dominican and Lafayette. St. Thomas More and Huntington. What you got here, man? Raspberry Lane.
Yeah, this one, this one's kind of tough. It's kind of interesting, not tough, really. I got a phone call earlier this week, man. It's kind of back and forth going on here. Laffy's calling everybody out here, and they're saying that they're gonna just steamroll their way to Hammond. And they're not worried about having to go through Dominican or Raspberry Lane. But we'll see, though. Laffy's. I'm not going to take any credit away from Laffy. They've done a good job this year contending, with the changes they went through this year with Coach K's not there, anymore. And the new coach came in, done a great job, got a 12 seed, you know what I mean, to hold them together. Johnson Sr., it's like we've talked about her. Those 4 years have blown by. I remember when she was just a freshman next to Narcisse and
Yep.
Grace Paul, and they win that state title, right? I think they won the state title. Yeah. So we were talking about at one point she's probably the best point guard in the whole state. You know what I mean? So it's like she's grown up in front of our eyes. So I do give Laffy the win here against Dominican. I do give them that. St. Thomas More gonna always be St. Thomas More, man. They're gonna play hard. They're gonna get after it. But it's a tough ride coming up from Lafayette. 2.5 hours, 3 hours, depending on how many stops you make. You know what I mean? And you put up on 6801 Raspberry Lane, and they're gonna pack that gym out. I can promise.
Yes, sir.
And it's gonna be loud, and the DJ's gonna be right there in your ear in timeouts. You're not gonna be able to hear anything. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. I got Huntington, of course, and Lafayette Huntington. I can't root against Huntington, man. Huntington, Coach Shine, Coach Ricky, Kendall Graham, Carly Hamilton, Shy Bell, Kaylee Dupree, you name it. Kendall Stevenson. That's how deep they are, right? I think that group's trying to redeem what they messed up last year. With the disappointment they had against Woodlawn Baton Rouge. I got Huntington winning this side of the bracket here.
That's a good point, man. So you got Huntington there where they can kind of spin the underdog role, right? Based off of what happened last year where, a young lady, Amaja Price, just went out and did her thing, man. She took that game from them. Like we talked about scoring 22 free throws or whatever it was, 22 for 22, something crazy like that. She just went out and played the best performance we saw all year. But that's definitely something as a coach, like you're putting that in your ear every time you're at practice. Like if you just have practice today, man, don't let Woodlawn have it again. Game tomorrow, don't let Woodlawn have it again. Tuesday, don't let Woodlawn every single time until you're holding up that gold trophy. Don't let Woodlawn have it again. Don't let Woodlawn have it again. So that's a great point, man. And that could arguably be the deciding factor, just to have that in your repertoire, in the back of their mind, every single practice, get the most out of it every single time they can. You could argue that makes Huntington a favorite. That's a pretty good chip on your shoulder, man. Pretty good chip on your shoulder. Everyone else has seceded and playing with house money, and all that. Huntington's on a mission trying to prove a lot of people wrong. But I also think Lafayette's trying to do the same, man. Like you said, man, Lafayette trying to call some people out. If they see a 12 next to the name, they don't give a shit. Like, who cares about the 12? Let's go to war. Like, let's go to war, man. But having to go on the road, man, twice in this week to win, that's tough, man. I don't know if you can go on the road on Monday, come back, short week, practice on Tuesday, how's your kids feeling, Wednesday, and you got to travel all the way up to Bossier, Shreveport and all that. That's a long ways to go, man. That is a long ways to go. And I talked about this before. When you're in college and you travel that far, like Nichols, UNO, whoever, when they play at Northwestern, which is halfway up there, they're going up the day before, staying in the hotel, doing shoot around, all that. I don't know if all these teams are doing that, man. It's a lot of people traveling the same day of, man. We definitely want to wish all these teams safe travels, man. That's 80 teams on the road. It's a lot of people, a lot of fans, a lot of buses, a lot of people on the road, man. Safe travels. But it's difficult to travel, man. I think Lafayette kind of pigeon themselves into a hole here to where they are forced to be the underdog. They are forced to be this bad guy. Dominican is not bad, man. Dominican is not bad. I don't think Lafayette has the size to bang on the inside. If they get into some foul trouble, especially with the Lafayette's thinness in the front court, on the size, you could see Dominican with an upset here, man. They can slow it down, bang on the inside. Got a young lady who has 1,000 rebounds. Like, she's freaking tough, man. She is tough. It's not going to be easy. Lafayette's going to have the best player. They're probably going to play harder. They're probably going to be more physical, better at man-to-man, can force some turnovers. But again, Dominican plays in John Curtis's district. They've seen stuff like that. They've seen the full court man-to-man. They've seen the pressure. Are they able to handle it? That's the question. If they handle it, then they can win this game. I picked Lafayette as well, just kind of with the experience. At the end of the day, going with the best player. Guards win games. I've said that all the time. They've got the best guard on the court. Johnson's going to propel them to win that game. Huntington rocks and rolls through St. Thomas More, and then we'll find out, man. Huntington, I think Huntington might be the favorite, man. I think Huntington is the favorite to win this division because they got that. They got the golden ticket, dude. The golden ticket is don't let Woodlawn have it again. Don't let Woodlawn have it again. So I think that's going to push them over the top.
And man, and speaking to them over at Huntington, man, I can tell you that's exactly what Coach Shine is preaching. He's like, we're not going to let Woodlawn happen again, but we're not taking anybody for granted. We're focused on the opponent at hand, and we're going to focus and we're going to lock in. We're going to take care of business one game at a time. So they're locked in over on Raspberry Lane, man.
Absolutely, man. That gets us down to the bottom half, man. Shout out to Captain Shreve, man. That's probably one of the most impressive wins that we saw. Again, for those that don't know, we do this thing called running clock now. So you don't see blowouts being this far up the line. But Captain Shreve dominated Ben Franklin. That's a huge win there. Put that under their belt, man. Can they go on the road? And, again, they got to be all the way down here in New Orleans for 5 o'clock tomorrow, man. That's a long ways to travel. They got to travel all the way from Shreveport. We're talking about the reverse order there. They got to travel all the way to New Orleans, play against Chappelle. Can they win that game? The Mount Carmel versus Woodlawn. Again, I think Woodlawn's just at another level. Woodlawn's arguably the deepest team, I would say, in the state. I think I've said that before. I'll say it again. They're one of the teams that I feel comfortable with. They could play 8 players, and you can never miss a beat. Maybe even go 9 deep. Don't have a lot of teams this year that are really 6 deep. A lot of people trust their starting 5. They roll with it. You get into some foul trouble. Somebody's super fatigued. You may even call timeout. You're not going to really make a bunch of subs. But Woodlawn is one of those teams that plays 8 and 9 players. I think their depth and the Elijah Price kind of gets them cruising through there. What's your thoughts here on this half of the bracket?
Hey, that's what I was just going to ask you, man. I haven't seen Archbishop Chappelle. I've seen Shreve. Of course, we play them. They're in our district, right? But I haven't seen Just tell us right here about Archbishop. what kind of style they play.
So Chappelle, again, they're in that John Curtis division. They're, that John Curtis district, and they've been there for years. Same coaching staff's been there. And that's why I keep bringing that up, because it's been the same coaches. Like at Dominican, it's been the same coaches at Chappelle. Both those guys do a fantastic job, a great job for what they got. Those kids play together for a long, long time. They're going to be very, very disciplined. They're going to have to score against man-to-man, which is what John Curtis has always done. So they're going to be good at executing in a half-court set. Can they get the ball inside? They got a young lady that can score it on the inside. So like, can they slow the game down? Can they get the ball to her inside? If they can get it inside of Dublin, especially if Shreve gets into some foul trouble, I know they're a little bit younger. That could definitely, if I'm doing the game plan, that's what I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get Dublin as many touches as I can. I'm trying to get to the free throw line, trying to get a quick early lead out, and then slow things down as much as possible. As far as this year, I know Shreve's young. Are they playing up and down, or what are they doing?
Yeah, man, they're getting after you. They're getting after you. If you watch them on film, man, they're getting after you, and that kind of surprises when they came at us. You thought, having Dakota Howard inside, they wouldn't dare do it, but they did, and they had some success. Coach Houston, Coach Green, they're gonna roll the dice with what they got. They believe in those young kids. They probably got one of the most talented young groups there is in the state, and I keep ranting and raving about them. They're gonna be running our district here in a couple of years. You know what I mean? You got Jocelyn. And down low, man, she's one of the better young bigs.
That's a great point there. Can Jocelyn match up with Dublin? Dublin's going to be more slow things down, try to get her shot face, try to get her to jump on and bite on stuff like that. That's going to be a great matchup. So whoever wins that matchup, especially in the first and second quarter, that'd be something to keep an eye on. If I'm watching this game, Jocelyn's going to be up and down the floor, going to be able to really extend rim running and stuff like that. They'll put Dublin in some battles and some challenges, but they can slow it down. Whoever wins the tempo battle sounds like is going to be the one that's going to win this game.
And Jocelyn's a skilled big. She ain't just back to the basket. She's boom. I want the ball out on the wing. I'm gonna cross you up. I'm gonna do it all. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So she's able to do it all, and it's gonna be a great battle. So it's exciting to see. Can Shreve go down to New Orleans during Mardi Gras, baby? And,
yes, sir. Hey, that's a fun matchup, man. When you break that one down a little bit, and then you got whoever wins that one. Can either one of those teams compete with Woodlawn? I don't know, man. I really don't. I think again, Woodlawn's just at another tier, right? We talked about kind of the first top 4 teams here. Just at another tier. You're going to have to catch Woodlawn on a bad night, and you're going to have to win your tempo, right? I think Chappelle's going to have to really slow it down. If they win, if they can do that, maybe they have a shot. If Shreve wins, I think a puncher's chance for sure. But if I'm Captain Shreve, man, I'm trying anything I can to get those young ladies that experience of, all right, let's go to the quarterfinals. Whatever the heck happens. I don't care. Win, lose, or draw. This is where the bar is at. So now we know. If we win, great. We're going to the top 28, the Final Four. If not, now we know where the bar is. Let's go back and let's work this summer. I think this game is more important to Shreve, especially for this year. Not only this year, but moving forward. Because it's one thing to make the second round, man. You make it to the quarters. Now you're talking. Now you're really kind of rolling and kind of being in that conversation. So it's definitely something to keep an eye on. Let's go keep it moving, man. Bottom half of the bracket, man, wide open. I don't know. Where is it, man? Ponchatoula, man, making some noise there, man. That's a huge win there. What's your thoughts here on this bottom half of the bracket?
Man, listen. Anytime you got a coach by the name Coach Patricia,
yeah,
you got to give him a respect. Man, she's gonna throw everything: the kitchen sink, the ice box, the refrigerator. She's gonna throw everything at you. The countertops. So you just got to be ready. She's gonna be well prepared, man. She's a state championship coach. She know how to get it done. You know what I mean? And so I would pick Punchy. I'm going Punchy right there. I'm going Punchy. I think Crystal Ball said Punchy.
Crystal Ball did.
Okay.
Again, we were trying to give a little bit of motivation to some of these teams. I think it's going to make the game even tighter. These teams are a lot closer than people think as far as like geographically. So I think it's going to be a great crowd. If this was at Ponchatoula, I think Ponchatoula would win by double digits. Being at St. Scholastica, I think that's going to be a dogfight. This is going to be a good one too, man. Like again, Coach Trish does a fantastic job. Coach DJ does a good job on the other end, man. Like these guys are super invested. They're going to be watching a ton of film. We talked about how much film goes into it. A lot of respect for all four coaches in this part of the bracket, man. There's going to be a lot of film, a lot of studying, a lot of game planning going on. Scholastica's got enough this year. They've been knocking on the door for years and years and years. They've got to the second round before. I think they've made it to the quarterfinals. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe last year. Haven't got the opportunity to get to the top 28. This would be a great icing on the cake for that senior group over there. I would love to see it. But I just think, again, Ponchatoula is Ponchatoula until they're not, man. Like, in order to beat a man, you got to beat the man. I don't care if you got a 10 in front or not. That's been the big brother for everybody in that area, man. So it's still the big brother. I think that's kind of the mindset going into it. Scholastica can hold on to it early, then yes, they'll have a shot. But Ponchatoula could come punch them in the mouth, and it could be one of those things. I think it's important that it stays close early. Ponchatoula jumps out in front early, I can see it being like, oh, here we go again, and this being a blowout win for Ponchatoula. But if it stays close, Scholastica's got enough in the tank. But I'm going Ponchatoula here. And then at the bottom half, man, I think Edna Carr is just playing too good at basketball, man. Well, you got that win versus Walker is a huge win. Got them a lot of motivation, man. A lot of motivation and a lot of momentum heading into the playoffs. I don't believe they played since then. I could be wrong. Liberty went into a dogfight, went on the road to Tioga. That was a huge win there. We're picking against the Liberty again. Back-to-back weeks. Liberty was fired up about Dalton, man. They proved us wrong. Can they prove us wrong again? What's your thoughts here, man? You got Carr again?
Yeah, I got Carr, but like you said, man, Liberty having to travel again, man, coming up to Central Louisiana, Central Louisiana, then now having to go the opposite direction.
Yeah.
To go to New Orleans, man, it's gonna that's a lot of travel, frequent flyer miles, right?
Yes, sir.
So Coach Wilson does a great job, man. Shout out to her over at Liberty. She does a great job. She graduated a lot from that class last year, but she's got them here. It came in as an 18 seed, comes up to Central Louisiana and gets an upset. What some would say is an upset. She plays hard there in overtime. She's grinding it out. I think, like you said, Edna Carr is just in another world right now with the confidence they have from that big win that they had earlier later on in the year. So Sanaa Bean, I think people don't talk much about her. That was a big transfer in for Edna Carr, right? Put her next to that guard that they have, and I think they got the 1-2 punch that they need to make some noise right here.
Yep. And this is a good comment here, man. Kiki's tough, man. If Kiki does what she can do, and she does happen to get Sanaa Bean in foul trouble, like you talked about, that huge transfer that they got, UTSA signee. If Kiki gets them in foul trouble, hey, that could be. I don't think Carr has enough to match up with Kiki without Sanaa. Sanaa's not there. Bean's not there. Gets her in foul trouble, sends her to the bench. That's something to keep an eye on. That may be Liberty's best shot at it. Kiki doing what she does on the offensive boards, playing super aggressive, similar style of basketball that they play. Can she take it to Sanaa Bean and get her in foul trouble? She sends Bean to the bench, man. That could be a lot closer game. Then we advance, man. Edna Carr versus Ponchatoula or Scholastica. Can anybody go to Edna Carr? Again, that's on Mardi Gras Thursday. Muses, don't forget it, man. Is Ponchatoula the favorite to beat Edna Carr if they advance? What's your thoughts, Coach?
Yeah, no, man. Ponchi could be a favorite to beat Edna Carr. Edna Carr coming in, do they have the experience to match up with whatever Coach Patricia will throw at them, right? Do they have that experience? She's been there. She knows what it takes to get to Hammond. I still like Edna Carr and the way they playing, right? They're playing some big time ball, so I think Punchy will fall short in that one. And of course, I don't want anybody to get mad at me or whatnot, but the way Edna or Carter is just playing, unless they just bomb it, I think we got them going and playing in hand.
Yeah, and then that's a great comment, man. Like zero disrespect to Cass, man. Cass is one of the best guards in her class. And when I say it all the time, man, guards win games. Guards win games for sure. I just think Liberty's only chance. I think Cass is going to be the best high school player on the court. Regardless of classification in that game tomorrow night. So I did want to address this comment, but Liberty's best chance is getting Bean in foul trouble, and then I think Liberty's best player in Kiki could have an advantage. So that's kind of what we were saying. Cass is definitely a dog for sure. Man, we want to take this time again to thank one of our sponsors, man, Mr. Justin, man, with Grind Elite. We're going to throw him on here, give him the platform here. Grind Elite Threads, man, shout out to those guys over there doing a fantastic job. Now the sponsor, the provider of all things LBR gear. Man, Justin, man, what's going on with you, man? Let me throw you up on the screen, man. How you doing today, man?
What's going on, Coach? How y'all doing, man?
Man, doing fantastic, dude. Doing fantastic.
Man, y'all breaking this stuff down like crazy, man. Like it's fun to watch.
Yeah, man, we have a good time with it for sure, man. And like we talked about, man, it's a shout out to all the people that are watching, man, that just are tuned in, interacting with the comments and everything. And a shout out to you guys, man. Grind Threads Elites, man. Getting on here and giving us an opportunity to present this stuff. Being a huge sponsor and a provider for LBR and everything that we do. Especially on the girl side, man. You got a daughter, man, tapped into Reeves, man. Good luck to you guys. But we just want to give you this platform, man, to kind of talk about y'all's brand, man, and let everybody know where they can find you.
Definitely, Coach. I appreciate this opportunity. First off, man, I give glory to God for it as well. Man, I don't know. We started this thing a little over a year ago. And just like I knew, I blew your phone up. I gave you the phone call first, just trying to, see what we can do as far as business wise, man. And I just, God allowed this thing to work. I'm truly blessed. My thing with the brand is, man, I want to push positivity. I want a brand that can be replicable. I want people to be proud to wear it. And when people wear it, I want them to feel like, they have the swag and they have all of that to go with their game that they already worked so hard for. My why for doing this, man, is, I have 4 daughters and a son. All 5 of my children are very athletic. I've been into this since, my son was 7 with football. And, I always had him dressed clean. He always had swag. And little did I know, I had no clue that it would move into this.
Yeah.
And then from there to the basketball and the softball organization with Grind Elite Athletics, man, came Grind Elite Threads. And, just getting, constructive criticism, trying to make sure we're giving the product that's comfortable for these athletes to actually be able to play in. We just did a big photo shoot last night, actually for the Top 28 event that we're grateful for, man. I think the momentum is moving. That production is coming soon. Big shout out to our people, man. Faces of Fantasy. They actually took, man, it was about a 4-hour shoot. The patience, the professionalism, for them to be able to lock in with us and take our vision and actually run with it was crazy. Like, they had so many innovative ideas. It was crazy. Being at the Top 28, being able to present these, Grind Player of the Games, man, it's huge. I think it's a big step. Making sure that these athletes, they understand, like, bringing this brand in and being able to do it with you guys is an honor, and for my ambassadors, man, shout out to my ambassadors. Like, these ambassadors are contract ambassadors. They're under contract. They're excited. Sometimes I put ideas in the group and we all collab on it. It's things like that. Being a family and making sure, my guy, Brandon, B, how you doing, man? This is another guy that helps me with designs, man. He helps me with a lot. Like, even when I'm at a stump, I get with him, we talk it out. Designing something that people like is sometimes funny, because when you design it, you never know if they're going to like it or if they're not. So I'm actually coming out. This is the first time it's ever been seen. This is the official Grind Box. This will be, predicated on my ambassadors being able to vote on some top athletes that are seen putting in exclusive work. And we just want to appreciate these athletes. Sometimes you put in a lot of work, and sometimes just a little bit will give you that much more motivation to be able to actually keep going. So when these guys and these athletes get reached out to, and they're in more of a drawing for a Grind Box, who knows what'll be in here? It may be an ambassadorship. It may be a hoodie. It may be a book sack. It's just a little bit to say, hey, we see you. Keep grinding. From there, man, let me see where we're at. I got the grind box. My goals, man. This is my goal. I want the goal to be that everybody knows when GE walk in what the brand is and what we stand for. Investing, my ambassadors, man, I have a lot of girl ambassadors. I have about 2 or 3 guy ambassadors. But these girls, man, they put me to it. So actually going to an all girls top 28, shout out to Ava, Stella, Lauren, Juliana. Those are all of my ambassadors that are still in this playoff run for the top 28. So I'm
Yes,
proud
sir.
to say that these ambassadors are actually, they're carrying the brand. They're working, they're fighting every day. 2 of them just got out of training, was like, Coach, we're going to check you out on live. It's things like that that makes us keep working. And it's a grind. That's what the name is. It's a grind.
Absolutely, man. Look, hey, we really appreciate it, man. And like for those that don't know, man, you'll see the video going up right there. Like that's what he's talking about, man. These guys are providing the player of the game T-shirts. So every player of the game, we normally have highlighted them before, just kind of put a post on there. But Grind Elite Threads, man, shout out to them. They'll be providing the T-shirts for them. And like you said, man, it's really, really cool stuff, man. It's really, I'm going to have to give me some more gear myself, Coach. I'm going to have to give me some more
It's on
gear
the way,
myself,
Coach.
man.
You're going to be locked in for the top 28, no doubt.
I love it, man. But look, man, we really appreciate you, man, for jumping on, man, just talking about it real quick, man. We really appreciate the support. Couldn't do it without our sponsor, man, so we want to give you this platform, man. Let them know, man.
Giveaway right quick, Coach, if you got a second.
Go ahead.
I want to do a top giveaway, man. The first 10 athletes to go follow the Grind Elite Threads page on IG, share the post that was 10 hours ago with hashtag grind will be in an actual, you will receive either a virtual certificate for a 2 items off the website or the official GE Go Crazy book set.
Oh,
so, yes, sir. And this is my motto: no excuses. We don't give them. We don't want to hear them, Coach.
I love it. I love it. I love it, man.
So the first 10 will be in a drawing, and I'm going to select 2 out of those 10. One will have a virtual gift certificate. The other one will receive this book sack in the mail. So y'all go out there and y'all go share that for me, man, and we're going to keep grinding.
Cool. Let them know one more time, man, in case they missed it, man. Let them know about that drawing and how can they find it? How can they get involved?
So you go on the IG page, Grind Elite Threads. It's going to be actually the second post that we posted, which was 10 hours ago. That was the behind the scenes of our official photo shoot and videography scene with Faces of Fantasy to actually be able to be live for the top 28, the different breaks and things like that for top 28.
Cool, man.
So you go on there, you share it to your story with hashtag grind, and you're going to automatically be placed in a drawing, and I'll be selecting 2 winners.
Cool, man. Again, guys, appreciate y'all for watching, man, tuning in, man. We couldn't do this without our sponsor, man. So take a chance, man, if you haven't already followed them. Jump in there with Justin, man. Grind Elite Threads, man. Doing some great things over there, man. It's going to be fun. I'm really excited about watching the journey, man. Watching you guys continue to grow, man.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be some fun times, man, here in these next 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks, man. So appreciate you for jumping on with us, man. Hopefully we can get you on again. And, hey, good luck to y'all tomorrow, man. Home game, man. Home game for Reeves.
Yes, sir. Hey, don't y'all forget Reeves. Reeves is on the map.
Yes, sir. I love it, man. I love it, man. Look, man, I appreciate it, man. Yep, we're going to jump into it, man. Coach Kendrick, man, where are we at right here? We're in the Wasserman Invitational, man. Wasserman Invitational, man. What you got, man? Take us away right here. Get us back on track, man.
No disrespect to Rain, man. No disrespect to Rain, but the Wiseman Wildcats all day. You know what I mean? So It's no disrespect. And I know some people say, well, you never talk about Wiseman. It's kind of one of those things. We know who Wiseman is. Everybody around the state know who Wiseman is. We don't have to, when we give them their credit, their kudos, and what they've done for the last 4 years and building that program to what they've done. So it's going to be real tough to go. Wiseman's another place that, it's tough to play.
They support, boy. They support Wiseman. That's for sure. I mean, it's one of those things like it's that time of year where we just kind of skip over the one sale. We don't talk a lot about Parkway. We don't talk a lot about John Curtis and stuff like that because we know we're going to continue to talk about these guys on Wednesday whenever we do Thursday's game. We're going to talk about them over the next couple of weeks or whatever. So Zero disrespect to Wasserman. They're definitely going to cruise, rock, and roll, man. Let's talk about this next game, man. Minden with the buzzer beater. Got the steal. Pull-up jumper was no good. Put back was good. Still won on the road. Minden with the 24 seed. I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, anybody in the comments, I'm pretty sure that's the highest seed in the next round. Can Minden keep things rolling, man? Can they? I mean, that's not a bad draw at Basher, man. Is there? I mean, what's your thoughts there? What's your thoughts there?
Yeah, that's not a bad draw at all. You know, Bastards not exactly who they were last year or the last previous years when they got to the top 28. You know, I think Bashford had a favorable schedule this year, and they end up as the 8th seed. You know, Minden's not bad. They got Brooklyn,
Yep.
who's a real one of our top athletes in LGR. You know what I mean? We talk about her running rate, her versatility. You know, can her supporting cast around her? She's got shooters around her that if you leave them open, you know, it might be tough though. You know, going to Bastrop. And so, you know, but looks like Minden prepared themselves for basically, you know, they played the Captain Street, they played Bettens, you know what I mean? They played
Yep.
look like they played my district a lot. So you know what I mean? So they're gonna be battle tested.
And that's a lot of momentum, man. Hitting that shot, that's a lot of excitement, man. I mean, she had sent us that video. We reposted it for it, man. It's got like 20,000 views, man. That's got to be super exciting. You know, that's the stuff we talk about, man. It's so much fun. There's going to be 160 teams playing, man, and I don't think no one is having as much fun as they are, and I don't think no one is on as big of a high as they are, man. So to come into Basher with that big of a high, hey, they could come out. That could be another upset, man. Could we see a 24 seed in the quarterfinals? That would be huge, man. I would not be shocked. We did pick Basham in that one, though, in the crystal ball. And we're getting into the nitty gritty on this next half, man. Abbeville versus St. Martinville District woes. Crystal Ball's got an upset there, man. Went way out on a limb on that one. Abbeville has won 2 games in a row. Went 2-0 earlier versus St. Martinville. I say it a lot, man. It's hard to beat a team 3 times. Again, with it just being kind of close, I decided to throw it out there with St. Martinville. Are we going to be right? I don't know. But I think the potential for an upset there is brewing. Abbeville was in a dogfight in that game versus Livonia. You would have thought that they would have kind of handled that a little bit better. So this game was a double-digit win the first round, 3-point game the second round. Could it be a little bit closer? I'm not sure. Then you got Ioway, New Kids on the Block versus Bruley, the kids that's been there rocking and rolling, made it to the top 28 multiple years. You know, they handled Bo Shin. And in order to be the man, you got to beat the man. We talked about that, maybe being a South Bow matchup before. Now it's Bruley, not as talented as they have been in the past. What's your thoughts here, man? What you got?
And somebody in the comments says Lake Arthur is still alive at 25 seed.
Lake Arthur, that was a huge game. That was a huge win. Yep.
Lake Arthur's at 25. I hadn't seen Abbeville or Martinville, man, but Bruce, of course, seen them. Know how coaches Iowa down there in that their area of the state. That one is Bruce Iowa is going to be a good one. Coach is going to have to drive down Lake Charles area, you know, that up and coming program that they got. Iowa's fast. Coach does a good job. Her daughter and the rest of the crew, you know what I mean? They're
Yep.
up and coming. And I think they'll have too much firepower for Bruisley on this one. But shout out to Coach, man. Coach Ed Bruisley, man. He always came up to the tournament and he always say year after year, Coach, I'm down. I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm down. And here he is again in the second round. So if he's down, that means he's doing a great job as a coach.
Yep.
Coaching his kids up and getting them into the playoffs in the second round. Potentially, can he get the upset here and move to the quarterfinal?
Yep. And I mean, this is fun, man. You know, you got District Woe there on the top half, and on the bottom half, you got a team that's been here and a team that's trying to get here. So this is a fun little part of the bracket. Could see some upsets, or you could see chalk with 4-5 there. 4-5 is probably more likely. Abbeville versus Iowa in the quarterfinals. That would be another dogfight. I think Iowa has done a great job of challenging themselves. Iowa with Coach Courtney, man. Coach Courtney's done a fantastic job there. Won a state title at Hathaway. Why in the world did she move to Iowa? Who knows? But it was a gold mine, man. It was a hidden gold mine. A lot of people in that area knew about them on the up and coming. Great environment over there. She's got everybody bought in. They play a lot of games, man. They are tied in, ready to rock and roll, dude. I'm telling you, like, no seniors there. I think when they have one junior, it's going to be a team that's going to be around for a long, long time. I would like to see them get to the top 28, get some fresh blood in there. And I think if they can, they'll be visitors similar to Waspin, 3 years in a row, something like that. Can they punch a ticket? I'm not sure. That's something that we'll kind of talk about that. That Iowa versus Abbeville matchup in the quarters would be a fantastic game. Somebody's talking about the gym. We're definitely going to be rocking, man. Definitely going to be rocking. And Iowa, I think they talked about has won district for the first time in like 20 years or something like that. Comment down below, guys. Let us know when's the last time Iowa won district. I think that I saw that posted somewhere. Definitely very young. Probably the youngest team in the state, man. Like 0 seniors and 1 junior. So it's gonna be a fun team to watch, man. Fun team to watch. I love this part of the bracket. That gets us down to the bottom half, man. You got South Bow, took care of business there. West Feliciana, we've been talking about it. Somehow, some way, always finds a way to be in this conversation. Second round quarterfinals games. They always play really, really good basketball come playoff time. Sterlington, I think Sterlington is not getting – I don't know if we're giving them enough credit, man. I don't know if we're giving them enough credit, man. That's a good basketball team. Very, very good basketball team. I think they'll take care of business against Opelousas. They've been ready to roll with that one. That gym's going to be packed. Another fan base that supports them. South Bow gets it done at home. South Bow versus Sterlington. What's your thoughts, man? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, that would be a fun one. Sterlington versus South Bow, man. The style of play of South Bow, they're going to get up and down. They're going to get up and after you, and they're going to rock and roll. Can Sterlington keep up with that style of play? That's going to be key. I think, that's going to be key. So, going to be tough.
We went ahead and put them out on upset alert. What was that, 2 weeks ago? I think we're on like 14 days now, man. Sterlington's been on upset alert. Again, I'll backtrack what I said. I said, I don't think we're giving Sterlington enough credit, but I'm putting them back on upset alert. They are on upset alert. In order to be the man, you got to beat the man. You got to beat Albany. You got to beat South Bow. We need some fresh blood in here, man. And for some reason, South Bow and Albany cannot be defeated when it comes down to the playoff times. It seems like they're always finding a way to hammer. Can they do it again this year? Hey, in order to be the man, you got to beat the man. I got South Bow coming out of this one, man. You heard it here first.
I heard you. I mean, it's tough, man, because like you said, right here, we go to the bottom, we got Albany Lakeshore, right? Well, of course, everybody's saying that Albany's probably going to come out of that one, right? Then you got LaGrange, $500,000. I'm going to go LaGrange here, man. I'm going to go out and say the Lady Gators go get it done against the 2 seed. I really do. I think I like LaGrange's draw here. I really do. I think LaGrange get it done, and I go Albany LaGrange in the quarters. So
I think that's a rematch of last year too. That was a rematch of last year.
I really like LaGrange's chances here. Even against Albany, I like them. You know what I mean? So
yep. So I believe that's another rematch of last year. I don't remember if that was quarters or second round. I'm pretty sure that was the quarters. LaGrange had a young lady go down with an injury very, very early. And Albany kind of ran away with that one. But that would be a fun rematch for sure. Again, North Vermilion, are we giving them? We're not giving Sterlington enough credit. We're definitely not giving North Vermilion enough credit with the 2 seed there, man. They've done what they had to do, man. Won every single game out in front of them. Power rankings. Coach LeBlanc went to the Corey Arnold School of Scheduling there and took care of business. Again, you got to win every game that you're scheduled, right? He's done a fantastic job. But are they the second best team behind? Are they the first team behind Waspin? I think we can all agree that's not the case. But nonetheless, they have put themselves in a fantastic job here in the second round, having a home game. If you win that game, you've got another home game in the quarterfinals. You got home court advantage all the way down. Crystal Ball does say LaGrange with the upset here. I was not going to give Coach Holmes the bulletin board material. He loves the underdog role, man. Man won 2 back-to-back state titles. And he still plays this role of the underdog. You know, we're just showing up, man. We're not any good this year. Nah, Lagrange is still Lagrange, man. Again, in order to be the man, you got to beat the man. Lagrange, Albany, South Bowes, those guys are going to get the nod in this division. They have in the past. They will continue to get the nod. North Vermilion's going to have themselves a dogfight here. Can they keep it close for as long as possible? They'll have a chance. If Lagrange punches them in the mouth, it could go the other way pretty quickly. Or, I mean, Lagrange has struggled to score at times. So whenever I see them put up 60, 61, that's kind of why I end up going that route. It's playoff time, man. They kick it up.
It's tough, man. It's tough for all these teams in this division, man, because you got the big bad beast of the East, East Louisiana, right? Wiseman, right? Northeast Louisiana, man, going for 4 in a row. Last time we talked about that, I think Jern Curtis, right? Going 4 in a row, bro. Something Coach Robinson has done. Man, yeah, it's gonna be tough. Can any one of these teams catch Wiseman on a bad night?
Yep.
You know what I mean? You're gonna have to catch him on a bad night, and that's, you know, if you catch him on a bad night, and Wilson's not going, and Argeson's not going, and the other kid, number 23 with the braids, not going, and then you got 14s not going, and then, oh, by the way, you got Wheat that comes in as well. So, you know, good luck to all those teams in this one. You know, but I think, you know, when talking to some of those coaches, they're like, man, just if we can just get to the state title game against Wiseman. You know what I mean? So,
absolutely.
So there you go. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a great camera here, man. North Vermilion and Lagrange definitely both well coached, man. This whole, you know, part of the bracket, man, great coaches here. They're going to be prepared for sure. It's going to be a chess match, man. It's definitely going to be a chess match for sure. I think Lagrange just being there, having that mindset, right? This is the big brother. Same thing with Ponchatoula St. Scholastica. The big brother comes into town. Like, you can only get picked on so many times before you step up to the big brother, and you know, that is what we're kind of anticipating. We got to see that from one of these guys, or is the big brother going to keep pushing and bullying around and making their way to the top 28? Man, Albany Lagrange in the second round will be huge. North Vermilion, Albany, Lakeshore can sneak in there. This is a sneaky little part of the bracket here, man. Definitely a sneaky little part of the bracket. Guys, again, appreciate everybody for commenting, man. Appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. We got over 100 people locked in throughout the whole broadcast, man, so that's huge. We're going to go ahead and throw up a quick ad. Again, guys, appreciate everybody for supporting. Shout out to Sports Clips. They're giving away a free haircut, having a free haircut contest. Check out this app here below. Comment the word MVP. It's all you got to do. Comment MVP. But you can sign up, man, with their app.
You may not know where you stand with that neighbor you wave at but never talk to. But you always know where you stand with the Sport Clips app haircut tracker that tracks your real-time wait time. It's a game changer.
Again, guys, if you haven't already, you can comment MVP. All you do is type in the words MVP. We had somebody type it in earlier. I think that's the only person right now, man. So all you do is type in the word MVP. Here it is, MVP. Jack's got it right now by himself, man. So we're going to do a drawing for a free men's haircut. This can be for, you know, females can win it as well. You can hand it away to somebody else, give it to a coach, a brother, somebody, dad, whoever you got, man. Shout out to Sports Clips for providing and sponsoring these live streams. Any sports clip in the Louisiana, man. Get your haircut, watch some games, get the back massage, the towel, the warm towel, man. They take care of you, man. So shout out to Sports Clips for sponsoring us. Comment MVP to be entered. The person that won last time, we'll be doing this every single week. Shakayla Browder. If Shakayla Browder is watching, just shoot us a message, a DM. We'll get that free haircut over there to you. And if not, I will shoot her a DM. If anybody has Shakayla Browder's contact, just tag her in there for us. Make sure she knows that she won there. But again, that's all you got to do, guys. Comment MVP, man. Sports Clips, haircuts, Grind Elite Threads. Doing a great job sponsoring and providing for us. Let's get back to it, man. Wasserman Invitational is over. What we got next? Is it UI? Yeah, the Baton Rouge district, man. Baton Rouge district. What's your thoughts here, man? Got you lab, man. Buckeye was rocking and rolling. Man, we had Douglas was throwing some shade, man, saying that the crystal ball was way wrong with picking Buckeye, man. So hopefully Frederick Douglass comes out, takes care of business there. You know, they'll advance. But crystal ball's been rocking and rolling, been some upsets. Wrong. I would love to see Frederick Douglass prove us wrong, man. But what's your thoughts right here, man?
Man, I don't get a chance to see any of these teams, but I have saw U High, man. I think U High comes out of this side of the bracket here. You know, I don't think they'll have a problem with Sophie B. Wright, and then Buckeye and Douglas. You know what I mean? I think they take care of themselves. I ain't gonna get into it with you and Douglas with the crystal ball. But I don't think either one of those teams will probably give U High any problem. So I got U High coming out of this side of the bracket.
Yeah. Again, like we gave JB Sports Show a big shout out, man, for doing that Hanville versus HL Bourgeois game. 446 Sports, who covers that area, did the Buckeye versus St. Charles game, and that game was a little bit earlier, so we were able to watch that game. I think the game was actually at 5:30. So we were able to watch that game as well on YouTube. That was really cool, man. That was a good game. A lot of good basketball. Buckeye was just on another level, man. St. Charles just wasn't quite there. So that was impressive to see Buckeye, get a 40-point win. That was huge, dominated from start to finish. So that's why I went with the Buckeye winning that game, man. Carrying that momentum in there. But there we are. Shout out again, guys. JB the Sports Guy, man. If you haven't followed him, go click on that link right there. Type that into YouTube, man, and just click that subscribe button, man. It's free for you to do. He does a fantastic job. So he'll be streaming the game, Frederick Douglass and Buckeye tomorrow, man. Right there on the YouTube page, completely free. And if it's anything like the game that was HL Bourgeois versus Hanville, man, I'll definitely be tuned in. I love that JB. I love that you picked the 6:30 games, man. I love that because as games are starting to unwind on NFHS Network and everything else on my computer, I throw that one on the TV screen, man. So it was definitely a lot of fun, man. So if you're looking for that Buckeye game, that's on JB Sports guys YouTube channel. I got Buckeye cruising there. U High is just has a really good draw here, man. They're so talented. Got some young ladies that will go on to play college basketball as seniors this year. Got some young ladies that will continue to be recruited by a Division I school. So they're very, very talented. Is this their year? They definitely got all the talent. So I think they'll definitely come through there. Again, not skating over U High, getting on down the list. We will continue to talk about U High. They're arguably the most talented team, probably 1 through 6, 1 through 7 in this division. But then you got Madison Prep there, arguably with the best player, Brooklyn Smith. What's your thoughts here on this part of the bracket, man? Strumer's got a young lady that can fill it up. Edie White, schedule a little soft, but just won every game that they're supposed to. Now they got the 4 seed. They had a home draw here. You see chalk here. What's your thoughts?
I see chalk, but Madison's gonna be the team to watch here. Madison Prep, Coach Ames, and they're gonna be the team with Brooklyn. Is she the best sophomore in the state? I don't know.
Got Caroline Bradley, but we're gonna let you slide over that.
Huh?
Outside of Caroline Bradley, we'll let you slide over that.
My bad.
I'm messing.
my bad. Guard. Let's
go. Yeah, there you go.
Guard, right? So Madison Prep, man, it's chalk until I got Prep upsetting ED. I got Prep. That somehow, some way, Coach always finds his way to him. He always finds his way to him, man. And so he's built a program that has sustained losing players to D1 schools, and they still just keep rocking and rolling. They don't rebuild, they retool every year. And I kind of had a down year last year, you know what I mean? But still got to the end to play in the state title game, right? Technicalities got them in there, but this year I think they'll earn their way in. They're gonna play their way in. They won't have to worry about anybody dropping out there. I got Madison Prep.
And somebody we don't talk about enough is Paige Hawkins, man. Paige Hawkins from Madison Prep is a dog. She will definitely play college basketball somewhere. So I'm not sure what level she will be at, but in my opinion, whatever level she does go to, that coach is going to be fired up to have her. I think she's somebody that's kind of overlooked, unfortunately. She plays really high at sometimes, but her floor is still high as well, man. Like, she's consistent, I guess is the word I'm looking for. She's a leader. She's tough, man. I think she's helped Brooklyn with the transition there. Both of those guys going to prep. I think, and saying that, like, they can go through some foul trouble, a rolled ankle, like shit that happens, getting sick, the flu's going around. Shit happens at the end of the day, man. I think prep is one of those teams that can lose a guy and still has enough in the tank that can at least get to Hammond. And then if you do that, then you're fast forward and we're already getting U-High in there. Now you got Madison Prep versus U-High in a rematch of district, where the Madison Prep won by 10 in their first matchup. So that'll definitely be a fun game. I agree with you, man. I think Madison Prep cruises through here. We've talked about this over and over again. We've talked about this for going on 3 weeks now. You're just trying to dodge Madison Prep, whoever it is. Like, Madison Prep was a 7 or an 8 seed at one time. We had them matched up versus Vanderbilt Catholic in the quarterfinals. So it's unfortunate. Edie White had a fantastic year, man. They definitely got to take care of business against Estruma. That's not going to be a game I would look over. Again, Estruma dominated Willow, but that game could be a lot closer. We got a young man that can fill it up, man. Plays at a high level. I think Edie White being at home will win that game. Could be a lot closer than people expect, but yeah, Prep's gonna rock and roll here, man. We'll jump down to the bottom half. We got Parkview Baptist, man. Steamroll City, man. Don't get yourself in any trouble this year, man. Steamroll City. Shout out to Laranja, man, going on the road, upsetting that game at Aberson. We had called that one. But also shout out to Lake Charles College Prep. We did not call that one, man. Went on the road at Peabody. Not an easy place to win at. They got that win. So you got Hannon sitting there, Parkview Baptist, Laranja. What's your thoughts right here, man?
Wow, that Lake Charles College Prep going to Peabody Alexandria and winning is huge. You know what I mean? I didn't see that one coming. Peabody's been, there in the thick of things all year, plays in one of the toughest district with the second district in the state. With the Ash.
Lake Charles had lost 5 of their last 6 going into that game too.
Could that be, you're overlooking an opponent and you're saying, oh, they're a 22 seed, had losing 5, we should take care of them, and then you get popped. You know what I mean? So,
yep.
Like we tell our kids, man, it's important that you respect the opponent. You know what I mean? You got to respect every opponent until the scoreboard shows you different. You know what I mean? So,
yep.
So that's going to be huge. Archbishop, I got. Of course, now when you talk about that, if that was Peabody, maybe we'll have a discussion about it. But we've got Archbishop and then Parkview Baptist, and Parkview Baptist steamrolls. Steamrolls. Mark it down into Hammond with the steamroll. Picture of the steamroll again. I better be driving that thing this year.
That's gonna be some fun basketball too. Two similar style of play, Parkview and Hannon. I don't know, man. Parkview lost some people from last year. That district, though, that district prepares them, man. I will say that district, that Baton Rouge district, with U-High, Prep, Parkview, Episcopal, one at state title. Like, a lot of these really good basketball teams in the Baton Rouge area has improved there. Hannon is a little bit more seasoned, I would say, as far as seniors, but Parkview's got the experience when it comes to seasoned in the playoffs. Hannon's been trying to knock on the door, hasn't gotten there. Parkview's been there, done that, got that T-shirt multiple times. I would not overlook Hannon, though, man. That's a tough 6 seed. I do think Parkview is definitely the favorite there. I don't know if that's going to be a tough game as far as environment and everything. I would definitely be trying to get the fans riled up and get as many people as I could there on that Thursday night. Because you're probably going to need every advantage you can going into the quarters. But that's a fun one, man. I'll be interested to talk about that one, dive into a little bit deeper with that Parkview versus Hannon game. But I think both these teams got a great draw here. I think they'll kind of cruise through here. Gets us down to the bottom half, man. Vanderbilt Catholic, Michaela Charles, is she suiting up? We will find out, man. Will Michaela Charles be suiting up? Hopefully so, man. I think the word is that she's ready to rock and roll. Get her out on the court, get her some experience there. They're going to smooth sailing through Carver. But that Booker T. Washington versus Leesville. Crystal Ball's got Leesville. I think that's a good win against Bunkie, 28-point win. That's pretty tough. Booker T. Washington, again, a team that, had, like I said, New Orleans basketball is down around the city, but they've been one of the better teams in the city that is not at that tier of Anna Carr, John Curtis. Got a young lady that, plays AAU with LA Soul, plays year-round, man. She'll definitely be carrying the torch. But I think Leesville style play, coming from that area where they're at, a little bit better basketball. I don't know if Booker T has challenged themselves enough. That's why we went with Leesville there. And I don't know, Leesville might have a shot at Vandy. Vanderbilt's schedule's just crazy, man. Vanderbilt's schedule is.
Hold up, bro. You said Leesville will have a shot at Vandy?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, as far as they've played some better basketball, they've seen better basketball than Booker T has saw this year. Leesville saw better basketball than anybody in this bracket except for Vanderbilt Catholic. That's all I'm saying. Like it's you can't simulate shit. Like when you're at practice, you can throw 7 guys out there. If you're playing, somebody presses a lot like Walker, you can throw 7, 8 guys out there, but you can't simulate that at the end of the day, man. You got to get out there and challenge your teams, and that's all I'm saying. I think Leesville has seen higher level basketball. Vanderbilt's probably going to win by 25 or 30, but I'm just putting it out there. What's your thoughts, man? What's your thoughts?
I got you. Now I'm with Vandy. I'm with Vandy on that. I got Vandy coming out of this side of the bracket, and then be them and Madison Prep in the semis. That's my pick.
Leesville lost to Iowa by 5, lost LaGrange by 1, and they're scoring 67, 70 against Eunice, 62 against Washington Marion, 72 against the Ritter. They beat Oak Hill by 11, scored 60. Beat South Bow, beat Plainview. Come on, man. I'm just saying, man. That's a tough 10 seed. That's a really tough 10 seed.
A really tough 10 seed, but the 2 seed is really tough themselves, man.
No doubt. No arguments here, man. Nonetheless, we see Vanderbilt Catholic rocking and rolling, but hey, don't sleep on Leesville, guys. You see it in the comments. You see it in the comments right there. The Oakdale Invitational. What you got, man? Top half of this bracket, man. This one's getting a little more fun, a little more entertaining. You got some of the top heavy hitters, but it seems like it's just gonna be, the top 4, 5 seeds, maybe 6 got a shot at it. What's your thoughts, man? Oakdale won as a 9 seed a few years ago. Is there any chance that a 9 seed or higher can win in this bracket?
Man, it's gonna be tough, man. Oakdale is Oakdale, right? Coach Edwards had them just rocking and rolling. They get the number 1 seed in this. They didn't duck any smoke throughout the year, so they're battle tested, and they're gonna be ready to rock and roll in this. It's gonna be tough, man. Oakdale really played Lafayette, Cabinetry Parkway, Natchez Central, Madison Prep. You know what I mean? So they really tested themselves. Fairview, they played Fairview. You know what I mean? They only lose to 3 by Fairview. That tells me that they're gonna be ready. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, I got Oakdale here. It's gonna be tough. Mansfield Coach Neal does a great job with them. Year in, year out. They're gonna travel down to Ville Platte and try to sneak out a win. I would go. Looks like they're kind of similar though. If you look at both of their games, Mansfield 56-16, Villeplat 50-14, right? So that's a kind of flip a coin there. But I'm gonna have to go with the home team, North Louisiana, Mansfield, bro.
That's what I went with too, man. Crystal ball with Mansfield as well. Throw a little motivation to Ville Platte, man. I think that's gonna make that game even more exciting. Again, throw the crystal ball in the locker room, man, and y'all go out there and prove LBR wrong for sure. Ville Platte's gonna be rocking for sure that night. I think Mansfield will travel as well. That's gonna be a very fun atmosphere. That's probably gonna be one of the most passionate and exciting fan bases as far as like a second round game. That gym's not the biggest. So that's gonna be a fun one, man. I would definitely love, if I'm a fan, to be at that game. I think Oakdale definitely rocks and rolls, man. But what's your thoughts, man? We're starting to get a little chirping in the comments every now and then, seeing Doyle versus Oakdale in the semis, man. I don't want to jump too far advanced, but you know, I mean, they got people talking, so let's go ahead and talk about it a little bit, man. Oakdale and Doyle in the semifinals. You talked about it. Oakdale lost to Fairview. Doyle plays that similar style of basketball as Fairview, up and down, very fast pace. Doyle is probably one of the hottest teams in the state and definitely in this division. Can Doyle beat Oakdale? Is Doyle the favorite here? What's your thoughts, man?
Question is, are we giving Doyle enough credit for what they've
Oh,
done? You know what I mean? Are we giving Doyle? I think they've done a good job this year on their scheduling and just not ducking anybody, man. You know, Denham Springs twice, French Settlement, Parkview Baptist, St. Amant. They've played some tough teams. You know what I mean? Madison Prep. It looks like they played French Settlement like 3 or 4 times. You know what I mean? So I think they're battle tested Doyle. You know, it's kind of like one of those schools, you know, we say about Albany, tradition never graduates, right? It's kind of those schools that you know, year in and after year. I think I saw on it's like 3 or 4 years straight where they're gonna have one of the top 4 seeds. You know what I mean? So I got Doyle here. Richwood is gonna compete. They're gonna scrappy. They're gonna compete. Shaw is gonna have them ready to rock and roll. But they have to travel down there, and I think that'll be a little too much for them, and Doyle will win that one.
hey, we called Church Point with the upset there. Reset everything. Don't have the seniors that they had, a very young group, but they went on to Burke and got that win. Pine is not the toughest 5 seed. We talked about that before. They won a lot of games early, kind of fell off a little bit down the stretch. So Church Point's probably a little bit better than a 21 seed. Pine's probably a little worse than a 5 seed. It's probably more like an 8 versus 16, 15, somewhere around there. Is there any chance that Church Point could go on the road there and win that game? I don't know. I think Pine will do a great job of showing up and supporting the program there. That's why the crystal ball went with Pine. I think they're gonna rally around the troops and get that one there. Do you see any chance Church Point can come in there and win that one, man? What's your thoughts? I mean, Church Point went on a hell of a run last year. Can they go on another run?
I know we talked about Church Point a lot last year. Don't know what they lost, whatnot. Like I said, it seems like they're a little higher than a 21 seed. Looking on who they played, Church Point wise, they played Lafayette Christian. You know what I mean? They've challenged themselves a little bit in the scheduling this year. So I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to go with Pine. I'm gonna have to go with Pine.
And I mean, I would not be surprised if Church Point could be one of those 20 seeds that we see in the quarterfinals. And like we got a lot of people talking about the environment of Ville Platte, man. Again, shout out to Ville Platte, man. That is a true community there. And once you start getting to this division, like this is where you kind of start seeing the strength in numbers. You know, mom played there, auntie played there, sister played, so I played. Everyone really believes, and they come back to the games and watch. They're related to somebody somehow, so they're all coming out and supporting, man. Ville Platte is definitely going to be one of those places that's going to be very, very fun environment. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's a smaller gym. It's going to be packed. Both places are going to be packed. And I'm gonna be honest, I picked Mansfield just to fire up the Ville Platte people. So like I said, man, post that crystal ball all over the place, man. I want to see a great game, man. I think that's gonna be a fun one. They were talking about it, man, earlier with the DJ in there, man. That's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be a good environment, one of the best environments in the state, just north of Lafayette over there. But we'll jump down to the next part, man. French Settlement versus Westlake. Do we see another third time in a row where those guys match up? French Settlement versus Manny. That game will be also on YouTube broadcasted. Westlake with the Twins. Can they get things done? Springfield with a good win there. Springfield is going to be well coached. They're going to have a good game plan. Don't have the dogs like the Twins at Westlake, but do they have enough to keep it close? What you see here, man?
French Settlement and Westlake, I think will come out of this one. And then I'll go French Settlement into the semi. I think French Settlement knock down the door and get to Hammond.
Whoo! You heard it here first, he said. Hey, I'm just saying, man. Someone promised me that they was going to make it as a player from French Settlement and no longer as a fan. So I'm still waiting on that promise to be granted, man. I'm still waiting on that promise to be granted. And until then, I might have to go against them, man. Got to prove us wrong, man. Got to prove us wrong. Westlake's just had French Settlement's number, man. It's had French Settlement's number. That's going to be another one, man, where this is a very big week for French Settlement. Like we talked about it with Captain Shreve earlier. You know, this is more important to French Settlement and the growth of their program on down the road than it is to Westlake. Westlake's already been there, done that, got that T-shirt. French Settlement's got, like we'd say, freshmen become sophomores, sophomores become juniors, and before you know it, man, they're all seniors, right? And then you haven't been there, and then this is your last go at it, right? Eventually, you got to knock that door down. And what better way to have it than to have Westlake right there at your stomping ground. We talked about it with Huntington. You know, Huntington having the chip on their shoulder. Don't let Woodlawn happen. Don't let Woodlawn happen. Don't let Woodlawn happen. Don't let Woodlawn happen. You can say that all summer long. Now for 2 years, whenever you're running on the line, whenever you're in the weight room, whenever you're making your sprints, whenever you're doing whatever extra work, extra box jumps, bleachers, getting extra shots up, you're doing it for Westlake, right? You're doing it for Westlake because they're the team that knocked you out 2 years in a row. If I'm French Settlement, I would want it no other way, man. I'd want it no other way. French Settlement versus Westlake in the quarters. Gonna be a heck of a game. Definitely be tuned into that one, man. But I don't know yet. I'm not picking either way yet. You gotta hold off to me on the next time we come on that one. Gets down to the bottom half, man. Oak Grove, 2 seed. Caroline Bradley, we talked about that for sure, man. Kinder versus Jenna. What in the world do you see coming out of this bracket, Coach?
Yeah. Oak Grove. I haven't not seen Marksville, Jenna, or Kinder. I see Marksville upset the home team. The alumni from Red River. Graduated from there, but other than that, Oak Grove, man, Caroline Bradley, she's trying to make her case for could she possibly be Gatorade Player of the Year. I got a forward and that I'll make my case for there for that. But you know what I mean. But I'll go Caroline Bradley and Oak Grove on that one.
And again, man, shout out to Caroline Bradley, of course, but shout out to Oak Grove, man. We talk about this all the time. Guards win games. It's great to have 6'5" post player. Like we talk about all the time, the best post player in the world. If her dad texted me the other day, man, just appreciate it, man. And I don't do this because I like the kid or anything. I'm doing this because the kid deserves it, dude. Like the kid freaking deserves it. I remember with Michaela Williams, I talk about it all the time. Get out and watch these kids, man. Caroline Bradley does not come around often, if not ever, right? The best post player we've had since Kalani Brown. If you don't know who Kalani Brown is, go freaking Google her. She's a 2-time All-American at Baylor, played in the WNBA. But Kalani Brown had another young lady by the name of Megan Brown, who was a dog. She was a guard, right? Guards win games, man. A lot of people thought Megan was one of the better players, like on that team, if not the best player night in, night out. But it's not just Caroline Bradley, man, to get to that 2 seed, man. It's the young ladies that are around her, man, and they put in a lot of work, man. We see them over the summer as well. So shout out to them, man. I personally am rooting for Oak Grove. I want to see Caroline at Hammond so everyone in the state can see her again, man. Whether it's fans, players, future players, college coaches, Caroline Bradley's going to draw people, and she's got a message that I think that she needs to get out there, man. I think she has the message of how hard she freaking works, the steps that she's made, and the growth that she's made is important, man. Like that shit was not given to her. Like she went out and earned that, same way Michaela Williams did. And you got to get to that stage to really get that message out. You can't get that message out at Oak Grove, so I'm rooting for them, man. I hope that they advance, and yeah, man. Let's get on to the next part. You got anything else on this one, or are you good?
Nah, I'm good on that one, man.
LCA Invitational, man. Take us away.
LCA Invitation. Enough said.
Does it get boring? We're going to get Coach Rogers on here, man. Does it get boring to win these state titles over and over, and then this time they bump down a classification where it's not as tough as it has been in the past? Don't want to spend much time on this part of break. LCA is definitely going to cruise through here, man. It's a credit to them, man. Without Jada Richard, she's been there getting things done for 5 years, and they went through the bumps of ground and lost some games early. But here they are, man. Number 1 seed. They're going to be cruising through. They'll make it back to the top 28. Who are they going to play, though? Who are they going to play? De La Salle, St. Thomas Aquinas tomorrow night. Crystal Ball was kind of questioning this one, right? Can't pick, when you're doing your bracket in the NCAA tournament, you can't always pick the 12 versus the 5. Can't go all 12s, right? Well, this just happened to be the 12 that we did not go with. But I would not be surprised. St. Thomas Aquinas play some really good basketball. If STA gets things rolling up and down tempo, they could definitely win this game. They're not a true 12 seed, as we've seen them beat North Lake Christian and some other higher seeds here. What's your thoughts, man? Dunham has already beaten GO, I believe. I think they'll roll through that side. But who you got, STA, De La Salle?
I go with Coach Mike over at De La Salle, man. I don't know, but the kids are gonna be up because of Mardi Gras. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be tough to have somebody in the gym for that. You know what I mean? St. Thomas going down. Do they get distracted with that? You know what I mean? So
Yep.
I'll go 4-5 against that one, and then that's a toss up on that one.
And I don't think we really talked about the Kenner versus Jenna game. I didn't know much about those two teams, man. So you guys in the comments, man, let us know. Got a couple people rooting for Kenner, a couple people rooting for Jenna. I just don't know, man. I don't know much about those teams. But yeah, with this STA, man, I would love to see them. I think whoever wins this will whether it's STA or De La Salle, I think whoever wins this will make the top 28. It would be cool to see a 12 seed. It would be cool to see Coach Mike in there. Again, he's doing a good job. One of the better teams New Orleans basketball is down, but they're one of the better teams in the area, not John Curtis or Edna Carr. Winning the games they're supposed to, man. Winning the games they're supposed to. Then we get down to the bottom half, man. Rose Pine, then again, North Lake Christian STA has defeated them. They are the 6th seed. Can A-Meet do the same? I'm not sure. I think Rose Pine definitely wins that top half. Who do you see at the bottom half of that one?
Rose Pine, man. Rose Pine. Because Kelly does a real good job with those kids. He could graduate. He told me early in the year when we were scheduling, man, he said, everybody's calling me. My phone's blowing up now. I graduate 5 starters who wins back-to-back titles. You know what I mean? Everybody wants a piece of Robine, and here they are, the number 3 seed. You know what I mean? And then the number 3 seed, man. And it's kind of tough for them because it's kind of funky how they ended up in the select part, right? With something verbiage in the whole school system, their district, whatnot. So they're really a non-select school playing in and they select part. So it kind of they're really supposed to be in the bracket we just talked about earlier. So but it's kind of tough draw for them having to be in this one with LCA, man. You know what I mean? I think even with Amite and North Lake Christian there, man, you know, and I still see Rose Pine coming out of this side.
And I mean, I think this is one of those divisions where it's just really like St. Thomas Aquinas, Amite, Menard. I think there's 3 teams that are double-digit seeded teams that could actually find a way to make it into the top 28. Of those 3 teams that we mentioned, Amite, STA, and Menard, what 3 of those teams you think had the best chance? Which one of those has the best chance of making the top 28 based on their draw as we go down to the bottom half? So you got Menard at the 10, Amite at the 11, and you got STA at the 12. Which one of those 3 has the best draw, you think?
Man, I haven't seen Newman. Let's see. You said ST who? ST.
St. Thomas Aquinas, STA.
Oh, okay. So I would go Qantas. I would go Qantas because I mean that their people want to pack out Hammond. They're literally 2 blocks away, right, from the arena there in Hammond. So they're always going to be fired up with that chip on their shoulder to try to just get right down the road. You know what I mean? So
I'm gonna go on record, man. I like Menard's draw, man. I like Menard's draw. I think Coach is doing a great job over there. I think they made a message at a home game there. Huge win, 62-20. I think that carries some momentum. Newman was on a bye. So Newman's just sitting there where Menard's got some momentum there. Got the big on the inside. Carly stays out of foul trouble. I think Carly's probably the best post player in this outside of Kalia, like we're talking about there from LCA. I think Menard's got the second best post player, definitely the best post player on this half of the bracket. I think Menard could go to Newman on Mardi Gras Monday. Well, Mardi Gras is the following week, but on Monday, travel back and then go to Sacred Heart again on Muses. That game is not going to be on Thursday in Uptown New Orleans at Sacred Heart, 100%. So that game will probably be on Wednesday or at a different location, which is something to keep an eye on, right? Like, so that's a tough draw now that I'm looking at it. Can Menard beat Newman on Monday, travel back on Tuesday, practice, then come back and play again on Wednesday? That's tough, man. That's tough. I think Menard has the size to do it, though. It's just, again, people are not talking enough about Mardi Gras and Muses and everything else that goes on down there, man. But yeah, that's my upset, dude. I'm going Menard out of that bracket here on the bottom side. I got Menard beating Newman in an upset, and I got Menard beating Sacred Heart. Again, Sacred Heart, man, shout out to them, dude. That is a fantastic turnaround. That they used to be like the second to worst team in this division, and now they're the second best team. That is very, very impressive to see a 2 next to their name. As a school that is known as a cross-country juggernaut, soccer team, and volleyball school, man. That's really, really impressive. You got anything else on this one?
No, man, we're good on that one.
Here we go. Now let's get the phone blowing up on this one, man. Let's get the phone blown up on this one. Again, guys, if you haven't already, man, comment below, man. Comment MVP. So all you got to do, this is provided and sponsored by Sports Clips. We're going to throw a quick ad up there. Shout out to Sports Clips Haircuts for providing and sponsoring the live streams. If you haven't already, man, make sure you download their app.
You may not know where you stand with that neighbor you wave at but never talk to. But you always know where you stand with the Sport Clips app haircut tracker that tracks your real-time wait time. It's a game changer.
All you got to do is download their app, Sports Clips Haircut. You can log in, sign up for that haircut for free. But, ahead of time. But they are giving away a free haircut. It's a free haircut contest. All you got to do is comment the word MVP. We had a bunch of people comment that earlier. Just comment that below. I'll go ahead and throw one up there, man. Once you comment below, you will be added into a drawing every night that we have a live stream. We're going to be giving that away. So again, it doesn't have to. This is men's haircuts, but it does not have to be a male. You can give this away to a husband, brother, whoever you need. Coach, just comment MVP. Give them some support for supporting us, man. Appreciate those guys for locking in and being supportive of LBR all along the way. Let's see what we got right here, Coach. Oh, that's the wrong screen. So this is the one where you get into trouble right here, man. This is the one where you get into trouble. Where is it at? Oh, there we go. There we go. We're gonna put Coach on the spot right here, man. Get him making some noise, man. All right, man. The floor is yours, man. Lakeview. Shout out to Lake Arthur, man. Before we get into Lakeview, man, shout out to Lake Arthur, 25 seed with the huge upset. Was that the biggest upset? Is that what we decided?
Yeah, gotta be. Yeah.
25 seed, man. That's huge, man.
Yeah, that was tough right there. Some of them you just don't see coming there, but I think Lakeview rose here, man. In this one, Lakeview's another one we don't really talk about. We talk about here and there, but with the addition of Johnson coming over, giving Teej her 1-2 partner there, and then they have other guards around those two that they're able, they have size as well on the other side of Johnson. So I think if they just playing ball like they know how, I think Lakeview rolls in over Homer, Lake Arthur, and Franklin.
Well, what about that Homer Lake Arthur game, man? Hey, guys in the comments, let us know about Lake Arthur. Like, what did something click with them? Like, what's going on with that? Did they just get a good draw? I know they lost a lot. It's just a young team. Definitely somebody to keep an eye on. Got some young ladies that are coming up through the pipeline, playing right now already. But what happened in that game, man? Like, that with the 25 seed, something. Whether it's, I don't know if he got banged up during the season, just did a great job getting ready for the playoffs, ready to roll. Like Lake Arthur's got a great coach, that's definitely for sure. What did you comment on Lake Arthur versus Homer? We had some people maybe with Lake Arthur 25 seed get into the quarters.
Man, Homer's gonna be Coach Amos does a great job up this way with Homer. Of course, Lake Arthur. If I had to go upset though, I would definitely go Lake Arthur upset like that comment just said. Lake Arthur upsets Homer. You know what I mean? So, but I can't. In my basketball mind, I cannot see Lake Arthur upsetting Lakeview. You know what I mean? So, so I would go Lakeview in this top half.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. I think that's gonna be a fun game. Remember, if this was like in the past, like what's your thoughts on this? If this was in the past, Lake Arthur would have a home game right here, and Franklin would have a home game. These games would be flipped if this was like it was in the past. Like whenever, let's say Lakeview played the 32 seed or whatever, Franklin goes and beats Plain Dealing. Lakeview will be at Franklin, and then Homer will be at Lake Arthur. Of course, I think Lakeview wins, but does that change the things? Or if Lake Arthur has a home game, that's a much different kind of feel there, man. That's something that we don't really talk about. Lake Arthur technically deserves and earned a home game from what we've had in the past here. What's your thoughts on that, man?
That plays key, having home field, the higher seed having home field advantage. You know what I mean? That plays key. So if we're like you say in the old system, people will be some 1 seeds and some 2 seeds to be traveling. You know what I mean? So, but with the buys, and you add in the buys the way you did, it's not fair for the 1 seed to get a bye the second round, but have to travel. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So Midland,
man, we talked about it. Midland had a huge win last game. West St. Mary's won by 5. Struggled a little bit there. More of a dogfight. I think Midland's on a mission, man. I think Midland's just got a great feel for the way they're built, right? Their bigs are older. Their guards are a little bit younger. Not as experienced as they have been, but their guards have gotten a full year under their belt, right? So they've gotten that full year of playing. So I think that's why you're seeing them peak towards the end right here, man. I think that's why you're. I wouldn't be surprised if Midland is holding a state championship trophy. I'll be honest with you, man. I think they are peaking at the right time. I think they've got the size, the wherewithal. And once you get that top 28 stage, it's going to be a little bit different, you know, with the youth and some of the guards that haven't been on the floor as much as they have in the past. The forwards have the experience, the guards don't. So can they handle that? I don't know, man. But are you seeing Midland coming out of this half? East Bow with a big road win. We actually called that with the crystal ball. Is there any chance East Bow could beat Maryville? I don't know. What's your thoughts?
I got Midland, man. Those two big size. It helps to have size. I know we say guard win games and whatnot, but it don't hurt to have size in the inside. You know what I mean? So Midland with those two bigs that they have, man, two good bigs. I gotta go Midland. Gotta go Midland coming out of there, upsetting Maryville in the quarters. You know what I mean?
And guys in the comments, is there any chance East Bow can defeat Maryville? I mean, I know Maryville's got some kids that can fill it up, can score. Cormier is really good. Cormier has an off night. Could see East Bow. I think East Bow's done a good job of preparing themselves for this opportunity. They're way better than a 20 seed. That's why we took them with the upset. Went on the road and won by 11. Got a little momentum going in here, man. I don't know, man. What's your thoughts here? East Bow point guard missed all summer plus 4 games. She's on a roll, and there you go. So I mean, that's definitely some good insight. Again, we really appreciate all these comments like this. Like the comments like this really help the program and help us get a better understanding and everything. So really appreciate that. So basically saying, you know, East Bow is rolling right now. So that's a tough draw, man. East Bow versus Maryville. You see any chance of upset there? 20 seed in the quarters. Lake Arthur possibly 25 seed in the quarters. A lot of upsets in this division.
Yeah, East Bow coming saying East Bow has already won 4 out of the last 5 against Maryville. You know what I mean? So there you go. So East Bow may just be ranked a little lower than what they really are. You know what I mean? And that's if so, then that's a tough draw for Maryville. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You look up.
Now they played earlier this year. They played on January 10th, and Maryville won by 20. So again, it's interesting. Maryville scored 84. Again, if 84 is a lot different, man. Like you got to really put the ball in the hole, which they can do. They have an off night. That can definitely be a dogfight, man. Cristobal had Maryville winning, but I could see an upset there. Let's see what we got here. All right, next half of the bracket, man. White Castle. I love White Castle, man. I love this draw they got. I love White Castle coming out all the way through right here. Huge win by Grand Lake, huge win by Logansport. That puts them in a great spot. Both those teams with 30-point wins. But I think White Castle rolls through the top half. Logansport, Grand Lake. I don't know. What's your thoughts there? Can either of those teams compete with a White Castle?
Logansport has some good guards. Has some good guards this year, man. Coaches kept it steady there. They got the 6 seed. But White Castle is White Castle, man. They're gonna compete, and they compete with the best in the state this year. So I'm gonna go White Castle. I'm gonna go Logansport versus White Castle, but I'll go White Castle.
Yeah. And yeah, I think I agree with that. I think Logansport's going to move through there. Logansport is, you know, on a 4 or 5 game win streak. Definitely going to come in with some momentum. And whenever you do have a shooter's touch like the Oberlins, Maryvilles, White Castles, you can have off nights, man. Definitely helps whenever you're in your home gym, but could definitely have an off night. So Logansport could be there, sitting there waiting on the upset. But I think I agree with you. White Castle rolling. Oberlin, like we talked about, shooting lights out, man. Huge win, 83-34. Again, it's running clock now, man. That is very, very impressive. Huge win there. Arcadia, Del High. What's your thoughts here? Two big blowout wins on the top half.
Arcadia all the way in that one. And I got Arcadia. Yeah, I'll go ahead and say it right here. Arcadia steamrolls their way to heaven. Right. And
Okay.
out of this bottom one here, DeAsia and Ariana Williams and supporting crew around them are just too good for Delhi, and I think they'll be too good for Oberlin and East Iberville as well. So, I got it set up Lakeview, as I said before, Lakeview and Arcadia, and the state title game.
Oh, what a game that'd be! I'm gonna put something out here for you. So if I'm gonna say Oberlin defeats East Iberville and then Arcadia wins as well, how many threes does Oberlin have to hit to give themselves a chance at Arcadia?
Man, give themselves a chance at Arcadia, man. Arcadia's tough defensively, and coach is a great coach as well, man. She has a state title for a reason. You know what I mean? So, I think she's gonna game plan. And she's gonna throw everything at them. I think they're gonna have to hit shots. They're gonna
How
have to
many?
hit
What's the number? Give me a number, man. Putting you on the spot, man. Guys, let us know in the comments. How many
shots.
threes does Oberlin got to hit? We talk about right at number 5, man.
Man, they
Caitlin
gotta
Clark
hit
of the South.
They got to hit 6, 7, 8 threes that night, and to
6,
bring
7, or 8 threes. So they got to get 25-ish points from the three ball just to have a chance. You're saying, or if they hit 10, might have a really good chance.
It's over with. I think Arcadia lose that game if they hit 10. You know what I mean? So if they're shooting the ball like that, Arcadia's gonna have a hard time. You know what I mean? But Oberlin's got to find a way to stop the A's. He's gonna have to find a way to stop Ariana Williams. And they got some other guards on that roster that can flat out go. You know what I mean? And so it'll be interesting, but I'm gonna have to tip my hat towards Arcadia.
I want to in the comments, out of the 83 points, how many threes did they make that game, man? Out of the 83 points in the first round, how many threes, anybody watching, did Oberlin make last game? And again, I mean, like we talking about White Castle, when you rely on a three ball as much as Oberlin and White Castle do, you can also get upset with that being as well. I just think Oberlin's style of play and being at home, there's no chance East Iberville can keep up with that pace and that firepower there. We've been saying it for 3 weeks now. Oberlin's a scary team. Like, even if I am Arcadia, that's not a team that I would want to see. Look, here's a comment right here talking about they can hit 12 to 15 threes. That's just not a team I want to play. I want to see it in the we don't want to see Madison Prep if we were in that division. That's not a team I want to see in the quarterfinals. Like, teams are going to have a night where they're going to hit shots, man. They're going to have a night where they're going to hit shots. Maryville's going to have a night where they can hit shots. Oberlin's going to have a night where they can hit shots, man. Is it going to be a night where they hit shots in the quarters against Arcadia? I don't know, but it is good conversation to have for sure. Let's jump down to the next one, man. Oh, we can't go to that one just yet. Class C, baby. Class C. Shout out to Simpson. I think Simpson and who they play. Was it Pickens? Simpson and somebody played in like a little extra game to kind of keep themselves prepared. You had mentioned that a lot. You had talked about, having that bye and not playing a game for a long period of time. For those that don't know, you can schedule a game in between there with somebody else that has a bye. And Simpson was one of those teams that took advantage of that. I think because of that, they're going to be a well-oiled machine, man. They're going to cruise through this week of games. They'll win both these games here and get it rolling. But on the bottom half, man, what you see here, man? Pleasant Hill Family Christian. Crystal Ball has upset here with Pleasant Hill. Family Christian's got the youth. Kids that can put the ball in the hole. Young lady is going to score probably 3,000 points in her high school career. But she's young.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be tough. Pleasant Hill's got a guard, decent. It's gonna flip a coin on that one, man. Don't put me on a hot seat on that one.
I love it, guys. Let us know in the comments, man. What's y'all's thoughts? Pleasant Hill at Family Christian. Crystal Ball's got an upset there with Pleasant Hill winning, but again, Family Christian, man, well coached team, young. If you can keep it close, I think, especially being at home, I think you can definitely win that game. Then advance to play Simpson, man. I just think Simpson's at another level in this division right now. Jump down to the next bracket, man. Phoenix, Reeves, we talked about with Grind Elite Threads, man. Big proponent over there. Reeves, his daughter plays there. Reeves with the bye, playing some really good basketball. Does the bye hurt them here? I don't know, man. And another part of this bracket that is that I do want to point out, and you see it in this part here. There's so many buys in this part that it really jacks up the schedule, which I don't like. I think that's the same thing as far as being C. I think at this point, just kind of put everybody in there. How in the world is the 13 seed get a home game, but the 12 seed does not? Like we've got to fix that. No disrespect to anybody that's 12, 13, whatever. If the 13 seed gets a home game, that's a very good, important game, fun for their community, fun for their environment, fun for the kids, everybody involved. 12 seed should get the same freaking thing, man. 12 seed has got to get a home game. Like, throw in more people into the bracket, man. Throw in more people into the division. So get to a 12 seed a home game. 12 seed having to go on the road whenever 13 seed. If I'm a coach, I'd rather be a 13 seed. I'd rather have to play at the 4 than play at the 5. But I thought that was important to kind of bring up. I don't know, man. That's got to get something. That's something that's got to get fixed as BNC's kind of fixes his way out. But coach, you still there, man? We look like you got froze up on us. We got Phoenix,
No.
Reeves
Yeah,
here. What's your thoughts?
Just walking a little bit. I saw that. Earlier this week, man, about how people said about that. 9 through 12 they get a bye, and 12 seeds don't get a bye. It's kind of like we was talking about, right? 12 seeds got the bye in the first round, but they got to go on the road in the second round. That's tough.
Yeah, like 13 seed gets a home game, but 12 seed don't get a home game. Like, if we're talking student athlete experience, I think you're robbing the 12 seed of a student athlete experience.
Yeah, that's kind of tough on the 12 seed, man. I mean, on the 12 seed, you really didn't get a home. You didn't really get a home game.
Yeah,
because you had a bye. You know what I
Yep.
mean? You really didn't get a home game because you had a bye. And so, at that point, I would have rather just drop back to the 13 seed, play the game, and then get my home game, right? Get my true home game. So it's kind of, how can I drop out of the 13 seed? And then they'll be saying, oh, coaches are throwing. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's just something that needs to get addressed. I hope it does get addressed. But nonetheless, man, you got Phoenix in there against Hornbeck. Phoenix does not have Serena. Serena is not back yet. I don't think she will be back. We've been talking about that. That was a big part of this part of the bracket. So at that point, I think Reeves is the favorite, especially having those home games. Can Phoenix go in there and upset them? I'm not sure. I think Reeves is just going to be so invested in that community, especially with that young group, man. There's so much excitement about basketball over there. Yeah, I agree with this comment here. Family Christian's definitely going to be prepared, man. That's going to be some fun basketball. But in terms of this bracket here, I see Phoenix advancing and Reeves advancing, but I do at this point without Serena. I'm gonna give the nod to Reeves, especially with that home game, man. It's gonna be some good basketball, man. And a good comment, man. Hornbeck versus Phoenix game will be better than expected. I agree with that, especially without Serena. With Serena not being healthy, the big for Phoenix not being back released yet, I do agree with that. That game is probably gonna be closer than people expect. You got the Mardi Gras crap going on. What were you doing this weekend? Were you preparing and getting ready to roll? It's a long break. I could see them come through there. Could definitely see them. Dang, did we skip Division 4? Dang, we sure did, huh? Why in the world is that division not getting put into my thing? We're going to go back to Division 4. My bad, Ned. I'm going to go back to that. But yeah, what's your thoughts? Reeves or Phoenix? Who you got there?
Man, we got Plainview. Of course, Plainview. I don't know, man. I thought Gibson Coleman would fall off a little bit with the injury. It looked like they're hanging in there, so I'm going to go Gibson Coleman at that bottom.
Yeah, Gibson Coleman, man, with versus Starks, man. Plainview there. I think Plainview is going to advance Claiborne Christian with a huge win. But I say Plainview is experienced. I see Plainview with a great draw here as they'll advance. Gibbs and Coleman. We talked about Starks. Can they defeat Gibbs and Coleman? I'm not sure. Didn't Gibson Coleman did they have an injury or a transfer? What was that you were saying?
Somebody saying she's playing through it.
Really?
I gotta verify that, but somebody says she's playing through it, and so if so, then that can attest to why they still got the 6th seed and didn't just bottom out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And just as an overview, man, can anybody play with Simpson in this group, or is Simpson just the team to beat? I think again without Serenity being able to match up with inside against Simpson, I don't know, man. I think maybe Plainview's got the experience. Are we overlooking Summerfield? Like we're going to this part of the bracket. You see, Calvin has already won that game, so they'll advance. Are we overlooking Summerfield? Like, what's your thoughts, man?
That's smart, actually. Before we go into Summerfield, that's smart for Calvin and Singer to go ahead and play that game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So that's actually smart.
So Summerfield has defeated Gibbs and Coleman, defeated them by 11. So it's still close, right? Like I don't know, man. They lost to Oak Grove, lost to Cedar Creek, Arcadia. Like the games that they lost were big dogs. Captain Shreve, Quitman. They're winning all the teams that are in their division, their region. Can Summerfield? Can anybody compete? Who do you think can compete with Simpson? Plainview? I think Plainview's probably.
If anybody, I think Plainview, like you said, Plainview or Summerfield. I think Summerfield probably can compete. Like you said, man, they didn't dodge any smoke. They played some heavyweights. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of like we talk about Vanderbilt Catholic, right? Their losses against heavyweights. Everybody that's in this tournament, right? And so Summerfield the same way. So I'd give Summerfield a shot.
I love it, man. Look, we're gonna jump into select Division 4. I apologize. Second week in a row. I don't know what's going on when I'm pulling that bracket over. For some reason, it's not making it to the final pool. But again, this is where you got Southern Lab taking on Sacred Heart. Shout out to Sacred Heart, man, with the upset on the road there. That in the first round they got a win there, but they're gonna run to Southern Lab. Southern Lab's gonna cruise. So Southern Lab will advance to the quarterfinals, where Pickering and McGee have also played. Pickering won that game. They'll play Southern Lab. This won't be on the same level, but you go into the Washoe Christian, St. Edmund, Vermilion Catholic, Covenant Christian. Who do you see kind of out of that little second half of that bracket? Washoe Christian, very well coached. Again, softer schedule. Haven't seen St. Edmund. Looking at their schedule now, I mean, also kind of soft. They lost to J.S. Clark by 20. What do you see here at that bottom half of the select four?
I got Ouachita Christian coming out of that. You know what I mean? Coach Humphreys, again, they kind of fell off a year or so, and now they're right back, right? And they just keep coming, right? They keep retooling, keep rebuilding, and so I got Ouachita Christian coming out of there. But it's tough, man. We talk about Wasman, we talk about Lafayette Christian. This is kind of the I don't want to go on record and say the Southern Lab Invitational, because you got Cedar Creek in this thing, and you got J.S. Clark. But in the top half, I'll go just top half.
Yeah,
it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for any of those teams to beat Southern Lab.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, I've said it before, man. I think Southern Lab has challenged themselves more than anybody, especially down the stretch, man. Like, she's done a fantastic job, really running around the entire state, playing some really, really tough games down the stretch. I think they're like a well-oiled machine, man. They're ready to roll. It's just gonna be who's gonna play against them, like you said. So we're at the bottom half now. You got J.S. Clark, Central Catholic. Central Catholic's a little sleeper there, man. Got the bye. They made a run last year. We did not talk about it, but we picked against them a couple of times. They shattered the crystal ball. So if it goes down to the quarterfinals, for Thursday night, J.S. Clark, Central Catholic. We picked J.S. Clark. Central Catholic's going to be fired up. We're going to hear about that one in the locker room, man, if if they upset J.S. Clark, man. But can you see anybody outside of J.S. Clark or Cedar Creek here on the bottom half of this bracket?
Nah, man. City Creek has the size, got those two kids, the Ben kids, man, that are or have played in the toughest district on record. Yes, the toughest district in the state of Louisiana, right? And so they're battle tested. They know what it means to win. They know how to win. Taking that experience over to City Creek. Cedar Creek, I think that does huge for that program. You know what I mean? But the question is, and I was talking to a coach that's very much around that program. Does the other kids around those two are they ready to step up and know how to win? You know what I mean? So it's one thing to have those two, but can those when it's crunch time? Everybody else is in that locker room. Are they battle tested? Or are they mentally ready to go try to win a state title? We're gonna see. We're gonna
Yep.
see. J.S. Clark and Cedar Creek in the semis with the right to go play Southern Lab in the final.
Yeah, I mean, as far as other teams in this bottom half, again, Central Cali comes in with a 10-game win streak. Can they catch J.S. Clark on a bad night? Maybe. J.S. Clark's just they have a great build for this division, right? They've got a lot of kids that can play multiple positions. They got the elite point guard, and they've got other guards that can handle the ball. They've got forwards that can play guards. They've got guards that can play forwards. They've got the versatility with enough size, right? So I think that's why you'll see J.S. Clark come out of this part, again, along with the experience. But I could see Central Cali again coming in with a 10-game win streak. I would not overlook that game. I would be laser focused and locked into that one. I think they'll win tomorrow night pretty easily. Central Cali, they'll probably win. But again, 10-game, 11-game win streak, not something I would sleep on at all. Then at the bottom half, man, Hamilton Christian, like you said, don't sleep on them for sure. Probably the most talented team as far as prospects playing in college. When we go back and look at this bracket, 5 years from now, they will have the most Division I signees, kids playing in college out of everybody kind of in this group outside of Southern Lab, right? So they'll be in that same conversation. So Hamilton Christian's very, very talented here at the bottom half. Hamilton Christian, Central Cali, two teams I would not sleep on. But believe it or not, I see J.S. Clark, man. I see J.S. Clark coming through all the way through at the bottom half and even defeating Cedar Creek. Just on that big court, big stage, man. See them rocking and rolling. But that gets us down to the last one, man. Again, appreciate Mr. Ned, man, for jumping on and making sure we caught that one. I apologize again for missing that one. The Fairview, man. Fairview Invitational. Is that what we're going out on a limb here saying, man? The most state titles in the state of any coach, active coach for sure. Maybe even non-active. Southwood maybe would compete with that. But Coach Jinks and Fairview has forced everyone in this classification to play their style of basketball and try to keep up. It's been out with injury, but it's ready to go. What team is that with? What team is that with, the injury? Let us know in the comments. Do you see just Fairview right here, man, and kind of all the way through, or what's your thoughts?
Well, yeah, I don't think anyone in the top half has what it takes to compete with Fairview on this. When you look at Fairview and who they play all year long, they're another one. He goes play anywhere. You know what I mean? So, they've already beat Glenmore 59-15. You know what I mean? I don't see if they beat Florine or Western. I don't see them on their schedule. So I just think it's Fairview here.
So one of Fairview's losses is to Anacoco. As a coach of Fairview, are you rooting for Anacoco to win that game? And you're kind of like, all right, we're the underdogs. These guys beat us. Or are you rooting for Quitman, Hathaway, somebody else, and you're just looking for a different opponent? Which one are you going with?
Well, it just depends on how that game played out. I know it's a 10-point game there, but it just depends on what was the dynamics of that game. Do we really think we have a shot there? Or did we just did not show up that night, and if we had another chance, we'd probably show up and we win that game? Or is Anacoco that much better than us, and we would rather play a different team? You know what I mean? So it's just the dynamics of how that game went down and what the film study was like.
So we get down here to the bottom half, man. You got Anacoco Elizabeth taking on, and then you got Hathaway and Quitman. A lot of people are saying don't sleep on Quitman, man. What do you see here? Obviously, Anacoco's got enough to compete, man. That's been a very difficult district that they're in. Playing Hicks and South Bow and Barb and Pickin, and they're really putting themselves through the ringer there. And lost, 2 of the last 3, probably the reason why they dropped down to the 5 seed. Arguably are the 4th best team, maybe even the 3rd best team in this division. What's your thoughts, man?
Man, I don't know. It looks like Quitman is another one that picked up the phone and called the school of scheduling. You know what I mean? It's just my opinion. You know what I mean? And so I don't see. Yeah, they played Halton twice, lost by 2 one time, lost by 18 the next time. So I don't. What was the difference? Maybe tournaments. I don't know. And then they played Northwood Shreve, but out of that, haven't really tested themselves. Played Benton. And lost pretty big there. So
are you putting them on upset alert right here against Hathaway? Can Hathaway come in there, shoot his chance?
Hathaway, is she still there or she graduated? The best shooter.
Still there, man.
If she gets hot, we know how good she is, right?
Yep.
What has Hathaway done all year? Can they upset? I'm gonna go on record. Hathaway upsets Quitman.
Whoo! People are saying ask him for some respect. He went the opposite way. He said double down. Checkmate, man. You heard it here first. Hathaway goes on the road, upsets Quitman tomorrow, 6 p.m. Coach Kendrick, man, he said it first, man. So let him know in the comments. You got to let him know in the comments if he's wrong there. But I agree, man. They are, Hathaway's got a tougher schedule, man. But limping into the playoffs, They lost 4 of the last 5. Did get a little bit of momentum there in that game. They could definitely catch Quitman, but I don't know, man. I don't know. And then you got Anacoco sitting on the other side. I just think Anacoco is better than a 5 seed. I just think that they challenged themselves down the stretch. They lost a couple of the last few games, which is the reason why they kind of slid down. But I'm rooting for Anacoco Fairview rematch. I think that's going to be a really good game. And again, I think if I'm Coach Jinks, I think at that point I'm playing the card of we're the underdog here. What are y'all talking about? We lost these people. Like whenever you're at practice and everything else, getting your kids locked in, laser focused. What are y'all doing? Clowning around. We're not the 1 seed. We lost these guys. You can play that underdog card, even though like you're the defending state champs, you're number 1 seed. I think that favors Fairview. But then let's jump down to the bottom half, man. Oak Hill, Pitkin, Holden, Hicks. What you think, man?
Oak Hill, man. Oak Hill has put themselves in a great position. I like that draw ain't gonna be Hicks gonna be formidable. You know what I mean? We know it's not the Hicks of old, but I don't think there'll be a pushover there. But Oak Hill, I still got Oak Hill winning that game. And then
they played twice already. Average victory was like 20 or so. So can they keep it close, right? If you can keep it close and you're the underdog, you're playing with house money, right? Like both these teams, Holden and Hicks, you're just trying to keep the game close for as long as possible and let the other team get a little bit nervous. So that's gonna be fun, man. That's gonna be some fun one. Who you got advancing coming out of this bracket? You got Oak Hill coming out?
I got Oak Hill coming out of that, man. Oak Hill advancing to Hammond.
Yeah, I agree. I think Hicks has kind of got a tough draw there. I think Hicks we've seen Hicks has beaten Pitkin, right? Yeah, so Hicks got kind of a tough draw there. Coming on as of late, just not quite playing as best basketball early. Caused them to be a 14 seed where they probably should have been around 11 or 10. Probably would have been able to avoid Oak Hill. But again, if I'm Oak Hill, that's not a good draw. It's not really a 14 seed that you're used to seeing. Your first round games normally a lot easier team with a lot less experience than Hicks. So that is scary if I am Oak Hill. But nonetheless, man, I see Oak Hill cruising through that one and rocking and rolling to the next round. And you got at the bottom, man, you got Negrete versus Wally. We had some people tuning in about that one earlier. Do you see an upset in that one? Bell City, man. I think Bell City's one of the teams that can compete with Fairview. Bell City's challenged themselves. What's your thoughts, man?
Yeah, man. Okay, Bell City out of this one. The last couple of weeks, we've had Bell City fans all over our comments, right? So I'm drinking the Kool-Aid now, right? I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, and I'm going. Bell City coach has been on, viewing every night that we've been on, and so shout out. He's a good man. I met him down at Lakeem's spot this past summer, man. Cool dude, and he's doing a great job there at Bell City, man. And yeah, so I'm going Bell City, man. Zawali, yeah, Zawali's another one, right? Yeah, 10 seed. You don't really get a home game.
Terrible, dude.
You're
Terrible.
right. You get a bye, but you really didn't get a home game.
Zawali has defeated Negrete twice already.
Yeah, so now you got to go on the road to beat them.
Yeah. So and then that was early in the season. And then they lost them by 18. So it's the fourth time that they played each other, dude. It's crazy. But I agree, man. Like again, let's go back and look at these games. Like you got a 15 seed that got a home game, which is very important for student athlete experience, in my opinion. And you got a 10 seed without a home game, dude. That is just crazy to me. I don't care who you let in. I think you need to let everybody in at that point. Everybody should at least, the top seed should at least have a home game. You cannot have a 15 seed with a home game and not give the 10 seed a home game, dude. Student athlete experience, that's tough, man. I don't agree with that at all, man. I don't agree.
Hey, Chris, Karen Hart's on line 1.
You gotta get the principals to vote on it, man. There's too many people that it takes to get in the same thing, man. It's tough, man.
Yeah,
it's tough. But man, I'm excited, man. Bell City, Fairview. If that's the matchup, who you got, man? Bell City and Fairview. Who wins?
Have they played?
Oh, don't be doing this homework now. I'm saying they're playing March 6th.
They have not played. Man, to be the man, you gotta beat the man.
Okay.
And Jinx, the Hall of Fame coach, man, he's gonna have them well prepared. No disrespect to Coach Fontenot, I think it is, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think no disrespect to him, man. And Bell City's rocking and rolling this year. They have went out and tested themselves, played Zachary. Am I saying that right? Did they play Zachary? Yes.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
Played Zachary, played Natchez Central. They tested themselves. So, but Fairview's Fairview, man. I until somebody beats Fairview, I'm going Fairview.
I mean, I think this division is really fun, man. I think you could see some upsets here in the second round. You could even see some upsets in the quarters. You got a lot of guys that play very similar style of basketball, a lot of very passionate fan bases. Again, we really appreciate everybody for tuning in and really commenting and being a part of the broadcast, man. It helps us. I mean, I'm more tuned into Class B and C basketball than I ever have because of you guys that are in the comments and everything. I think it's fun, man. We're bringing it back to the BC from where it was, Division 5, select and non-select. It makes it still exciting, and you still got a lot of teams that can win, man. I feel like you got 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 teams that can compete and that can win a state title here. So I think that's what makes it so exciting. It really has a lot of people tuned in, a lot of fan base, a lot of cities tuned in. And again, that's why you got to have these freaking home games, man. Zawali's got to get a home game, dude. That is brutal. I'm going. Let me do some real before we let everybody go, man. The 9 seed does not get a home game. The 12 seed does not get a home game. 9 through 9, 10, 11,
and 12.
And 12
don't get a home game.
Do not get a home game. But 13, 16, 14, 13, 14, 15, 16 get a home game. That's crazy. That's crazy, dude. We can't have that happen. Again, shout out to 446 Sports, guys. They're going to have that game broadcasted. We're going to do a good job. We're going to post tomorrow all the games that are going to be broadcast, and we'll have it on one screen so everybody can kind of see those. So shout out to that one, man. Oak Hill versus Hicks. That's going to be broadcast on 446 Sports. That'll be on Facebook. I believe their YouTube channel as well. We'll probably be tuning it out. Now I'm going to be up on the screen here at the house. But Coach, man, you want to give anybody any shout outs, man? Got a lot of people commenting, man. Really appreciate everybody tuning in, man. Safe travels, everybody. There's going to be 80 teams that will be on the road tomorrow, man. Safe travels. It's a lot of people on the road, man. Prayers for safe travels. Some good basketball, man. This is some fun time. Fun time of year, man. We got the semis and then the quarters on Thursday, man. It's ramped up, rocking and rolling. We got 160 teams now. It'll be 80, and then by Friday we'll be down to the final four for everybody, man. It's gonna be over here in 1 week. What's your closing remarks, man?
Yeah, man, just enjoy it. Enjoy it. Take the preparation serious, give it your all. And don't leave nothing, leave everything on the floor. No regrets. Don't look back and say, I could have did this, I could have did this. Give it your all and enjoy the moment. Seniors, enjoy the moment. It very well be your last, so enjoy it.
Yep, absolutely. This is a very good point here. This is a neutral site, man. So a neutral site. They're going to be playing not at Oak Hill, but actually at Northwood Lena. So does that have an impact on that Oak Hill versus Hicks game? I'm not sure, man. That definitely is something to keep an eye on, and some good feedback for sure. But nonetheless, guys, really appreciate everybody for tuning in. We will be live tomorrow. Good luck to you, man. Good luck to you, Coach. We'll be live tomorrow for sure. Same thing as we did last time. Be live, guys. Come on, comment any score updates. I'll be reading those out. You can text me. Had a lot of people text me some bad service and stuff as well. We had a lot of really good positive feedback from that. So guys were sitting in the stands. You're watching your game, but you can just pop an earpiece in, earbud in, or you can pull it up on your phone, right? So we're live on YouTube as well as Facebook. We'll be live, keeping everybody updated, man. So comment any updated scores, first quarter, halftime, whatever. We'll kind of be posting those along the way, and we'll be tuned in, man. We'll be tuned in, watching, and recapping with everybody. But yeah, man, appreciate y'all. It was a long one today. 80 games is a lot, man. 80 games is a lot, man. We'll get down to the quarterfinals on Thursday. Yeah, good luck to everybody. Safe travels, man.